Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what if Naruto x Inko Midoriya My Hero Academia. Before I start, please support for more amazing content and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by FallenMizu and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. Naruto Uzumaki Midoriya. Hey Inko-chan, how are you doing? Naruto yelled at the slim green-haired women. Running up to the women and picking her and spinning her around. Hearing her laughing makes him smile. They have been dating since high school. They known each other for a while. Her kind nature is what drew him to her. He died in the 4th Shinobi War and then he met Kami. She wanted him to live to be reborn into another world. When he was reborn he grew up in a place where there were heroes and villains. He found out that he had all his abilities growing up in his past life. Unfortunately he grew up with a guardian that was sent by Kami to watch over him until he was older. His guardian, a female warrior of Kami named Kitsumi. She was very kind and she helped him further his abilities. He also learned that he had the Rin Sharingan. So any kids or child he has will have it as well, or just the Sharingan. Well, after he became of age where can take care of himself, Kitsumi left back to Kami. But Naruto was well off since Kami left him with a lot of money that could last him many lifetimes. But no one really needed to know that other than him. Anyways, he was in middle school when Kitsumi left him. He lived in Musatafu, Japan. He attended a middle school there, where he met Inko and Mitsuki. He became best friends with the two. The trio couldn't be seen without each other. Naruto wanted to become a hero to save people. Well, the other two didn't have strong enough quirks to become heroes, so they wanted to do something else. While they were going through their years through middle school, Naruto and Inko got together. So while Naruto went to UA, Inko and Mitsuki went to a regular high school. Naruto keeping in touch with Inko and Mitsuki and even going out on dates with Inko when he could. But Naruto had a rivals in the school which was a hero in training called All Might and Endeavor. Those both were strong in their own perspective. But after graduating from UA, the rivals went their own way and became famous. With All Might becoming the number 2 hero, with Naruto being the first and Endeavor becoming third. They were a force to be reckoned with. But after a while Naruto proposed to Inko wanting to marry her. Naruto smiled in happiness when she said yes. After the wedding and stuff, the couple have been together for 5 years. Now in the present time where Naruto is still in hold onto Inko. After her laughing died down. He looks at her face and sees a worried look. What wrong, Inko? Is something the matter? Naruto asked, worried something bad happened or gonna happen. No, nothing wrong, it's just I have some news for you. Inko responded. Well, what is it? Naruto asked. Well, I'm pregnant. Inko quietly said. Hey, what was that again? Naruto asked again. I'm pregnant. She yelled at him. Looking at him after she told him. She thinking that he probably wouldn't want a child now since he a pro hero and all. That having a child now would ruin his career. Looking back at her, he smiled at her. I'm going to be a dad. This is great, Inko, we are gonna be parents. We have to get all the stuff for the baby and all the other things the baby needs. Naruto rapidly said. Sighing in relief, Inko smiled at her husband. What are you gonna do, Naruto? Are you going to stay a hero or are you going to retire? I want you to be there for our baby. I know this sounds selfish. Well, Inko, I'll retire from being a hero. I always wanted to have a family. Family is the most important thing to me. But I won't retire yet since you can still do things on your own. But when you get to the point you need help, I'll retire. I have to make a few calls too to notify them of my retirement. Naruto said. Setting Inko down and bending down towards her stomach. Hugging her stomach to his face, Inko looking down at him, slowing rubbing his hair. Somewhere in government office. Naruto was sitting in a chair across from the Prime Minister of Japan. Sir, thanks for taking the time to meet with me. I have some stuff to discuss with you. Naruto said. Looking straight in the eyes of the Prime Minister. No problem, Naruto, you served this country well with fighting villains and keeping this place safe for everyone. We truly don't deserve someone as good as you. The minister said. All the flattery, sir, is not needed. But grateful. Well, I have some bad news and good news. I'm going to be retiring, sir. But the good news is that I'm having a child coming soon with my wife. Naruto happily said. Hearing nothing from the minister, Naruto was about to speak but was stopped by the minister spoke. Congratulations, Naruto, I'm happy to hear that you're having a baby. But sad to hear that you're retiring. We will surely miss you and we will lose some manpower without you. But I understand that a baby needs both parents. As I regret that I wasn't really there for my child when he was growing up because of my duties. Smiling at Naruto, he stood up and walked over to him. Thank you, sir. It has been an honor being the number 1 hero for a while. I think it's time to give up the mantle anyways. All Might has beginning to become more popular with the people. So he will be a great fit when I step down. Also, I would like a few favors for the future if that is possible with you. Naruto said, standing up with the man. Yes, I can do anything you need but reasonable as you know. Once again it was nice working with you and having you protect this place from the evil in the world. The minister said before shaking Naruto's hand and watching the former pro hero leave his office. Once Naruto left, the man went back to his desk and picked up his phone and made a call to his assistant to get him on the phone with All Might. Training grounds. Naruto was looking out into the training field that he went train his abilities from time to time. He was called here by All Might, so he was stuck here waiting until he got here. Serious, that guy can't help but do everything. But that's a good thing. Hearing someone walking towards him. Turns around to see All Might walking towards him. About time, All Might, I was getting tired of waiting. Naruto said jokingly. Sorry, I was helping people on my way here. But anyways, I wanted to know why you were retiring. You're at your prime, why would you give up now? All Might asked. Looking at him with a small smile on his face, Naruto said, my wife is pregnant with my child, All Might. I want to be there for my child during his childhood and the birth of my child. If I missed any of that, I would regret it a lot. So I'm leaving you with the mantle of protecting the people. You'll do great, I know you would. Don't worry, if you ever need help, I'll be here to help. All Might put a smile on, happy that the now former #1 hero believed in him. About to say his thanks but was stopped when he saw Naruto hand up, showing that he wasn't done. But first, I want to face you in a battle. I want to know how strong you are. Let's say that this will be my final battle for a while. I want you to go all out too and trust me on when I say that I can handle it. All Might looked hesitant but nodded. He also wanted to see how strong Naruto is as well. A beat down later. Naruto was standing across from All Might, who was kneeling down. Alright, Might, we are done, you're good. Very strong, keep training and maybe you'll pass me in power. Walking away, All Might sees Naruto waving behind at him. All Might looked at his back thinking, he is so strong, I was going all out and I think he wasn't even going all out himself. We are both in our prime and he defeated me like it was nothing. I still have a long ways to go. Recovering, All Might left back home. Hospital. Naruto was holding on to Inko's hand. Naruto was making a pain expression on having his hand crushed by Inko. Even if he tried to pull away, her quirk would make him right back. Usually her quirk only brought small items towards her. But he guessed that giving birth is increasing her power. A few hours of pushing, Inko and Naruto became parents of a little boy. Which was named Izuku Uzumaki Midoriya. Naruto could be seen holding Izuku while crying a little about having a child. Naruto was looking at Inko holding to their baby after giving him to her. He was officially retired hero, the announcement shocked a lot of people. But it all died down after a while. Few days later. Naruto and Inko were able to go home after staying at the hospital for a few days. Getting home, they were happy they could go home with their baby. Naruto went to go set up everything for Izuku. After Inko put him down in his crib in their bedroom, Naruto and Inko went to their living room and laid down on the couch together. Taking in everything that has happened. Naruto holding Inko asked, how do you feel, honey? Looking at her very intently. Very exhausted, but somewhat happy that we are home with our baby safe and sound. Inko said, leaning into Naruto more. I see, you should get some sleep. I'll watch over him while you sleep. Naruto said but didn't get a response, but hears light snores coming from his wife. Picking her up and putting her down in their bedroom. Naruto went over to the rocking chair that was next to the crib and sat down. Naruto thinking how his life is great right now, but life for him has only begun. 4 years later. Inko was taking Izuku to the doctors to see if he has a quirk. Izuku with his All Might toy in hand with his other hand holding his mother's. After getting his x-rays of his foot, the doctors told them that Izuku doesn't have a quirk. After the doctors, Inko and Izuku went back home. Izuku saddest he could ever be. Upon arriving home, they both saw Naruto waiting for them at home. Seeing his dad, Izuku ran towards him and hugged him with all his might. Naruto hugged him back and looked at his wife's face and sees a sad face. After a while, the hold on him from his son loosened a little and see that his son cried himself to sleep. After putting him in his room, Naruto went back towards to his wife and asked what was wrong at the doctor's. He has no quirk, dear. The doctor diagnosed him as quirkless. Inko started to tear up because her son's dream of becoming a hero is destroyed. Inko, our son does have a power, it's a power he was born with. Naruto said, but noticing his wife's confusion. He explained his past life to her and how he was reborn here by Kami herself. How his people in his past life had a power called chakra that everyone had because it was the thing that kept them alive. But now in this world the only people to have it was him and Izuku. So why hasn't he been tapping in this power of his? Inko asked, curious on why his son didn't use it. Oh, I sealed up majority of his power because it's very dangerous power that if untrained could hurt the user. I was gonna unseal the seal when he got to the age of 4. So he can start his training with me. Also, having a superpowered kid on the loose is something we don't need to be questioned about. But after he wakes up I'll tell him. Nodding to his explanation, she looked at him with a certain look. They haven't been to do the act lately since they were taking care of Izuku. And now since he is asleep they could do it. He looks back at her, noticing the look. He quickly grabs her and dashes towards their room, putting a silencing seal up so they don't bother Izuku sleeping. Few hours later. They were done having sex. They both took a shower to get the stink out. Then they went down to their sunroom to check up on him. Seeing him awake, they both rushed towards him to hug him. "Izuku, honey, daddy here has a surprise for you," Inko said. Izuku looked up at his dad. Seeing him smile at him, he gave a small smile of his own back. "Izuku, do you still want to be a hero?" Naruto asked, kneeling down in front of his son. "I do, daddy, I want to become a hero," Izuku said with conviction. "Well, I can help you with that. I need you to take off your shirt, son. So I can do something real quick. This may or may not hurt," Naruto said to his son. Nodding his head, Izuku went to take off his shirt. And his father put his hand over his stomach and his hand glowed a blue color. And looking down, Izuku saw strange black things on his stomach that wasn't there before. Both mother and son heard Naruto say release, and Izuku started to get filled with a warm feeling throughout his whole body. "How are you feeling, my son?" Naruto questioned his son, who stood still for a while. "I feel great, dad, like I gained a burst of energy that lasts forever," Izuku said in happiness of this feeling. "Great, that's good, I really hope that didn't hurt you. Haha, anyways, we can start your training today after you get changed into some training clothes." Nodding his head into agreement, Izuku ran towards his closet and grabbed clothes out to show his dad what he should wear. Seeing his dad nod his head at some clothes, he ran out towards the bathroom to change his clothes. Looking at his wife, Naruto can't see tears in her smile that he fell in love with. "Thank you, honey, for what you're doing for our child. Making our child dreams come true," Inko told Naruto before hugging him tightly. Hugging back, Naruto rubbed her back. Coming back to see his mom and dad hug, Izuku jumped towards them to join in. The family of three is hugging it out. After the hug, Naruto carried Izuku on his back towards their backyard. They lived in a very big house that was far away from other people. The closest people were the Aoi Rozu family. So they had a lot of land for training. Inko once told Izuku that if his dad was training and he wanted to watch, he had to wait for her to call out to Naruto, so he knows that they are there watching him. Since some of his abilities are very dangerous. While Inko sat on the back porch, Naruto and Izuku went a few yards away from the house. "Alright, Izuku, I want you to feel for the power inside of you and release it all," Naruto instructed. Nodding at his dad, Izuku closed his eyes and concentrated on the feeling he felt before. Releasing the power, Izuku opened his eyes to see his dad smiling at him. "But Izuku, I know you can't see what I'm seeing, but you accessed your chakra. Now before we go into the more advanced things, we need to master the basic first. What I'm going to teach you how to do jutsu, ninjutsu, jinjutsu, etc. But the most basic thing you need to master is your chakra control, which really helps you with the others. So what I need you to do is split this leaf in half." After showing him how to do it, he went back to his wife and sat down next to her, watching their son start his training. Seeing him mess up made Naruto chuckle because he remembering all the times that he messed up because of huge chakra reserves. And it seems that his son has taken that from him as well. When he sealed Izuku chakra, he only kept enough for him to survive. And didn't really know the growth rate that it went into. Which was a surprise when he released the power. Which made him happy because he could teach him more of the stronger jutsu in his arsenal. 30 minutes later. Naruto sees his son jumping with his fist up in victory. He walks down towards him and congratulates him. Petting his head, Naruto can't see the smile on his face grow bigger and bigger. "Alright, son, you did that fast. Alright, next follow me," Naruto said. Following his dad further in the backyard, stopping when his dad stops. Stepping to the side to stand beside his dad. Seeing his dad put up a sign with his hand, and suddenly a big tree grows in front of them. Grabbing onto his dad's sleeve. "Alright, my son, I want you to climb this tree without your hands. Just like this." With that said, Naruto just walked upon the tree with just his feet. Going back and up and down on the tree. All you have to do is find the right amount of chakra to put on your feet so you can stick towards the tree. If you put too much chakra into, you fly off, and if you don't put too much chakra into your feet, you just fall. Don't worry if you don't get it today because you have a lot of chakra like your old man here. Handing his son a kunai. "Use this to mark your progress. I want you to make it to the top of the tree. Don't worry about fall, I'll be right here catching you if you do. I didn't do this kind of stuff till I was older. But I want you to be a very strong hero. Be the strongest by the time you go to a hero school. You'll be the strongest student, muhahaha." Hearing his dad say all this stuff made him more confident. So he will try his best to do what his dad teaches him and master anything he can. Testing out how to do this tree walking. He walks up towards the tree with the kunai in hand. He puts one foot on the tree, put a decent amount of chakra to his one foot on the tree. He then puts another on the tree. Slowly walking up the tree, Izuku getting higher and higher. Izuku looked down towards his dad and sees how far he is from the ground and he loses control and fell. Screaming and closing his eyes waiting for his dad to catch him. Feeling arms on his back and his knees, he opened his dad smiling at him. "You know you're supposed to mark where you were before falling," Naruto said to his son. "I got scared when I looked down. And I forgot to mark my spot." Hiding his face from his dad. Laughing out loud, "It's okay buddy, it's your first time, keep trying and you'll get it eventually. It took me a while as well. But I'll show you where you made it." Walking up the tree with his son in hand. "You made it about a quarter of the way there. Good job my son. You did great. Now let us try again. Don't worry about falling, I'll be there to catch you." Putting his son down on the ground, Naruto stepped aside and waited for Izuku to do it again. "Oh, we will stop when your mother is done shopping and done making food for us. You'll be changing your diet so you can grow muscles." Year 1 training. Izuku been eating more meats and vegetables to have a more healthier diet. He finished tree climbing and water walking. Work out his stamina and strength. Izuku never seen his dad as slave driver before. Because he was always nice. But when it came to his training, he didn't show any mercy. He sometimes hid behind his mom to stop the pain. But his mom just said, "If you want to be a great hero like All Might, you gotta push through it." He just sees her smiling face as his dad dragged him away for training again. Year 2 training. Izuku is 6 years old now. He gotten used to the routine somewhat. He doesn't complain about it that much. And his dad is working out with him now. He has been sparring with his dad to get fighting down. And that is not fun for him. Izuku been feeling sore all over his body from the fights. But going to school and training is taking a toll on him. But he deals with it. He beginning learning Genjutsu from his dad. From detecting it and creating one. He been getting better at it. Naruto put him in a bad one and it awakened his Sharingan. Which his dad explained what it is. And what it does, Naruto showed his to him. Izuku learned that it was very useful tool but was told not to dependent on it. Only using it if he needed to. Year 3 training. Naruto began to train Izuku with his Dojutsu. Having him increase his speed and power. Making him increase his reflexes. Which began when the sparring happened. Increasing the intensity of it. Naruto made sure to hold back enough but not too much so he can grow. Izuku Sharingan grew into a 2 Tomo. Naruto told Izuku that he has to be faster in order to dodge anything he throws at him. Just because he can see it doesn't mean he can move in time to do it. Year 4 training. Naruto gave Izuku a blank piece of paper. Telling him to push some chakra into it, wanting to see the elements that he has gotten. Surprising to Naruto that he got all the elements. Excited that he got a lot of elements. Seeing his dad grin that he had so many times before, he started to turn around and make a run for it. But was grabbed by the shirt by Naruto and dragged along to further in the backyard. "Alright Izuku, I'm going to show you a jutsu that is very dangerous if used wrong. It is the shadow clone jutsu. This jutsu makes of a clone of yourself and when goes away gives information to the user. It takes a lot of chakra and a lot of mental training. When you dispel a lot of clone, it could overload your brain and you will die. This is very serious, I want you to use this jutsu with care." Teaching him the jutsu, only having him make 4 clones that go with Naruto 4 clones. Each clone teaching him 1 element. Year 5 to 10 training. During the years of training, Naruto and Izuku trained Izuku to the best of his abilities. Leaving him to be very strong. Naruto wanted his son to be the strongest there was. But he has a lot to learn still. Wanting him to continue on his own. Since he will be trying out for UA next year. Learning each element to a jonin level of skill. According to Naruto, he could beat a lot of pro heroes as he is now. Izuku grown into 5'7", still shorter than his dad and around the same height as his mom. During this training, Izuku became calm and collected but still shows emotions when he is with family. Izuku grown muscles that he really didn't show off to not bring attention to himself at school. With going to school and training with his dad made him great at timing stuff. But getting friends was kin to heart since he trained so much. So hanging out with friends was a second priority to him. But one friend he did have was Kitsuki Bakugo. They became childhood friends when his family went to Izuku family house. Bakugo mom was a friend of Izuku dad and mom, which that friendship went on during their adulthood. During all his training, Izuku still wondered how strong his father was. He never really seemed to sweat that much when he was facing him now. He was something else. "Son, I'm proud of you that you made it this far. You grown a lot, you'll be a strong hero someday. Don't do anything stupid, you hear me? Defend the weak and lead others. Be an example to others. You're a smart boy. Your mom can agree with me on that. You didn't want to be a recommended at UA from me because you want to prove yourself. But remember, don't show too much there, always have something up your sleeves just in case. If you ever need help with something, your mom and I are always available," Naruto said to his son. During these years of training someone Naruto had the pleasure of having fun and learning on how to be a dad to his son. Nodding his head Izuku went over to his dad and hugged him. Thank him for everything he did for him. Both turning back to the house they can see Inko and small girl next to her waving at them. This was Kitsuko Uzumaki Midoriya, the younger sister of Izuku. She was born when Izuku was 8. Which didn't really delay Izuku training only when his sister was born. So she was 6 now. Which when that happened Bakugo came over more often to play with Kitsuko and sometimes train with Izuku and his dad. He became another brother figure to Kitsuko, so it made both families feel closer to each other than before. School. Alright, you guys will be moving on to the next grade. I hope you can make a difference in the world. And I wish you all good luck. Oh Kitsuki Bakugo and Izuku Midoriya, you both are looking to attend UA next year aren't you? The teacher said to the class. Yeah teach, I'll be the strongest hero that comes out of UA. All these extras won't hold a candle to me. Bakugo arrogantly. Even though he is friends with Izuku and his family doesn't mean that he isn't it to others who he thinks are weak. Everyone started to shout at him. Izuku is just shaking his head knowing Bakugo doesn't like anyone really. But that changed somewhat when Bakugo called his dad old and got his butt kicked and he started to really respect Naruto out of fear of getting his butt handed to him again. But the only person he was really nice to was Kitsuko and Inko. Because Naruto cared a lot more for the girls in his family than anything else. And was brainwashed into Izuku's head that he should always protect his family and most importantly the females of the family by his dad. School end time. Hey Izuku. Hearing someone call out to him he turns around to see Kakin walking up to him. So you will be attending UA as well huh? Yeah I will be. I won't be going in through recommendations if that's what you're asking. I want to prove to myself and my family I have what it takes to be a hero. Also my dad would kill me if I don't get in with all the training he did with me. Both shuddering because of the sadistic nature of Naruto when he trains people. Alright, that is what I wanted to know really. I'll see you later today with my family. With that said Bakugo walked away with some friends. Izuku went his own way. Making his way to meet someone he was walking through a tunnel. Making almost through the tunnel before being wrapped up in a slime-like substance. Fuck, I got caught up in my thoughts and now I'm going to pay for that. Izuku thought. About to use a jutsu only to be stopped by hearing a voice yelling stopped and being ripped away and being allowed to breath once more. Seeing that All Might was putting the slime monster into a bottle. After he was walking towards him, are you okay young man? Nodding his head in sign that he was fine. All Might giving a thumbs up and jumps off only to feel some extra weight on him. Looking behind him he see Izuku holding on to his leg. Jumping down onto a building rooftop. Young man, that was a very dangerous move to do, you could have fallen to our death. All Might scolded Izuku. But seeing the still calm kid stopped the scolding and went to leave. I have a question. Stopping to hear out the question. Did my dad really beat you in a fight? He was telling me while he was training me that he beat you badly. Izuku said to All Might he wanted to confirm that his dad wasn't lying about that. Because All Might was his idol when he was younger. Turning around All Might asked, who is your dad young man? It's Naruto Uzumaki Midoriya sir. Izuku said leaning against the building door. Oh Naruto, you're his son. Man, I've been so busy that I haven't been able to visit him and see how he is doing. But seeing you grown up I see that he is doing good. All Might said smiling. Before he poofed into smoke and started to cough up blood. God damn it, young man, please don't tell anyone what you saw today. This is All Might was stopped when Izuku raised his hand to stop the bleeding man from talking anymore. Yeah, my dad told of your situation. He always seems to know a lot more than he should, but that's a good thing I suppose. But can you answer my question please, I want to know. Izuku said. Yeah, your old man beat me in a straight fight. In our prime he completely destroyed me. He didn't really break a sweat either. He walked away from the fight after it was over like nothing I did to him didn't hurt. All Might said. Nodding his head at the answer he got. Made a hand sign and disappears in a swirl of flames. All Might looking at the spot he disappeared from for a few more seconds, then left to turn in the slime, but went to touch the bottle to make sure it was there, but it wasn't. Hoping that he could find it he left the building to look. Izuku, I'm over here. The one and only Momo calling out to Izuku. Walking over to her hugging her. Sorry I'm late, I had a distraction on the way here. Izuku said too because the look on her was one of wanting answers. That's okay, you can always make it up to me later. Momo said with a smile and grabbed his hand and walked towards their destination to a cafe Momo wanted to go to for a while. While walking they see a group of people huddled up together looking in an alleyway. Moving their way there to see what is happening. Looking what was happening they looked and saw Bakugo being covered by the slime monster. DCH that thing again, I thought he had it. Izuku muttered under his breath. Momo looked at him, asked what did you say? Izuku waved her off and unsealed a mask from his arm and put it on. I'll be right back Momo. Nodding her head she saw him running on the wall. Ignoring the shouting of people behind him. landing a 5 feet away from the monster before him. Activating his lightning armor and dashed forward, grabbing Bakugo arm and ripping him away from the villain grasp and tosses him towards the heroes. Bringing up his left arm with a powered up lightning blade and thrust it into the slime body and shocks it until he felt it stop moving. Hearing the heroes shouting behind him to stop, he disappeared and appeared by Momo, picking her up bridal style and jumped off away from the scene. Both agreed that they will go to the cafe another time, so dropping Momo off at the gate of her home. He started his walk back home to meet his family. On his way home he was stopped by All Might jumping in front of him. Young man, that was an excellent display of being a hero there. You did something that other didn't want to do or couldn't. So I want to ask you a question. Will you take my power? All Might said. What do you mean by taking your power? My quirk is passed down from user to user. I'm the 8th user of this quirk. So I'll ask again, will you inherit my quirk? End. Chapter 2. Answer. Looking at All Might Izuku's side, I will not accept this power of yours. All Might registering what he just said. He was about to respond to the answer but was interrupted. I don't want your power because of what my dad did for me. His power or power that we both have is something I'm grateful for. When my mother and I went to doctors to see if I have a quirk and was deemed quirkless, I was in a state of despair if I remember correctly. When I thought I couldn't be a hero like you, my dad was there asking me if I still wanted to be a hero. Then he showed me the power that I was born with. This power I have now was so great and growing that my dad had to seal it away so that it doesn't harm me from what I was told by him. So that day my dad became my teacher and hero. So I'll honor him by becoming a great hero with power I was born with. Finishing his speech, Izuku looked at All Might with the determination he had when he was training with his father to become stronger. Alright Izuku, your reasoning is an honorable one. Well, I'll be off. All Might said, getting ready to go into his buff form and leave. Wait. Izuku shouted before All Might left. How about you meet my family? You said you wanted to check in on my dad but was too busy to do it. So why don't you come and you can rest before you go too? Yeah, I'll do that, thank you for the invite. Walking towards All Might, grabbing his arm, they disappeared in a whirl of water. Appearing in front of his home, he sees that Bakugo family car was there. Walking towards the door with All Might in tow. Opening the door, Izuku walked in to see his mother and Aunt Mitsuki talking, Bakugo playing with Kitsuko, and his dad and Bakugo dad talking to each other in the kitchen. I'm home and I brought a friend over. Naruto walking towards his son to stop and see All Might. Long time no see, Toshinori. It's been a while, come in, come in. Do you want something to drink or eat? Naruto said. He would be fine if you have some. All Might said, walking towards the kitchen to sit down at the table. Well, Izuku got tackled by his sister. Welcome back, Honey-chan, you came back late, you owe me. Kitsuko said with a pouty face. What do you mean I owe you? Also, I was dropping off Momo at her house before I talked with dad friends. Izuku said, picking up Kitsuko. Oh, you were with Honey-chan, why didn't you bring her here so she can play with me? Making her pouty face again. You can play with her next time. Setting her down and went to give him mom and aunt and hug. Hello mother and Aunt Mitsuki, how have you been today? Izuku asked, but got a weird feeling when his mother gave him a look. Well, I saw something on TV, but I'll tell you later when everyone leaves, okay honey? Inko said with a smile that said if you don't comply you will regret it for a while. Yes mother, that is fine. Izuku backed away from the two females and went to say hello to Bakugo. Hello Kitsuki, how have you been? Izuku asked with Kitsuko climbing back onto Izuku's back. I have been fine, how about you? Fist bumping each other. I have had an eventful day with Momo. But other than that it was nothing too much. So are you ready for the exams for UA next year? I aced the mock test and I'm pretty sure that you did as well. Yeah, I did ace it as well, but I am ready for the exam. I'll be doing some training before the exam to brush up on my skills and learn more from what I can from my dad. Izuku responded. Hey Izuku, can I talk to you real quick? Naruto asked his son. We're going home, Kitsuki, say goodbye. Mitsuki said. Well, see you later Izuku, and see you later brat. Izuku said his goodbye while Kitsuko kicked his leg for calling her a brat. Walking to his dad, who was with All Might outside on their porch. So Izuku, All Might told me you rejected his offer of getting his quirk. Naruto asked. Yeah, I did, I have my reasons why. Izuku replied while leaning against the side of the porch, looking at his training grounds that he trained in for so long with his dad. May I know why? Because All Might told me it is your reasons to tell, not his, so I would like to know. Huffing, Izuku said, I don't want his power, it's a great offer, don't get me wrong. But the power I have now is fine. Dad, you gave me hope when I was at my lowest and taught me about my power. So I'll become a great hero with the power that I got from you. Staring at his son, Naruto smiled and picked him up in a bear hug. Thank you my son for telling me. Yeah, so All Might, who are you gonna give your quirk to then? I'm going to be teaching at UA, so I was gonna look for a successor there. All Might said. You'll be teaching at UA, well I might see you there if I get in. Oh, what do you mean get in? You'll be taking the exam. I'm pretty sure that your dad can get you recommended if you wanted. I can recommend you if you want as well. No, I want to see how far I have gotten with my abilities. Proving to my dad that his training did not go to waste. Now All Might, why didn't you ask me to help you during your fight with your arch nemesis? Naruto asked, ready to give the other man a beat down if he didn't get the right answer he wanted. Well Naruto, when you told me that you were having a family, I knew that I couldn't get you involved with anything dangerous because your family needs you. I don't want Inko to take care of Izuku all by herself because of my selfish request. So I decided to take him without asking you because I wanted your family to be a complete family. And I don't think I can live with myself if I was the reason you died. All Might said with confidence. But on the inside he was sweating. He knew Naruto was stronger than him, and with his injury, he knew he wouldn't even be a workout for him. Signing in release when Naruto nodded to his answer. You have good qualities, young Izuku. I believe you will pass the exam with flying colors. But it is getting late, so I will have to excuse myself and get home myself. See you next year, young man. With that said, All Might left. Well my son, you got some training to do. You have a lot of time to train before the exam in 10 months, so let us have you learn new jutsu. This jutsu I'm going to teach you is highly dangerous. You can only use this jutsu when your enemy is too much for you and you run out of chakra. We will begin training tomorrow. With Momo. Slow down Momo. Yelled a dragged alone Izuku. Come on Izuku, you said we would go to this tea place. I can no longer wait any longer than I already have, so we are going. An excited Momo was something he sometimes saw when she wanted something, and he will have to go along because as popular as she is. He was one her friends that knew her very well. Also he liked the company from her and vice versa. Alright, we are here Momo. Seeing her nod her head in happiness. They both walked up to the host. Oh hello there for two people. Nodding to the question they followed the host to their seats. Well, we have a special today for couples today. Here are the menus. I'll let you both look at the menu, then I'll come back, okay? Before she left she heard Momo say something. Oh, can you repeat what you said, dear? I didn't quite catch that. I said we aren't a couple, we are just friends. Momo said, embarrassed, covering her face with her hands. I thought you were, you both were holding hands when you came in and only let go when you went into your own seats. Smiling at the both of them she told them that it was fine. Oh, by the way, I think that you both would be a cute couple together anyways. Walking away, both Izuku and Momo looked at each other and blushed at what she said. Both finding the menu more interesting. Ordering their drinks, Izuku looked at Momo, who was still avoiding his gaze. Hey Momo, you're going to UA too, right? Yes, I am going to UA. I got in through recommendations. What about you? Momo asked in return. Yeah, I'm going to be taking the exam. I want to prove I am strong enough to my dad I can protect people. Izuku said with determination. That is nice Izuku, I hope you pass so we can go to the same school. It will be lonely without you there. Nodding and promising that he will pass. By the time their conversation ended their drinks came. Finishing their drinks they paid and left. On their way back to Momo's house they stopped in front of her home. Hey Momo, what do you think of me? Looking at him little stunned from the random question. Well, I think you're a great friend that anyone would be lucky to have. Very smart and strong, willing to do the right thing when needed. You were my first friend when my family came over to your house for dinner. FLASHBACK Izuku was 5. Inko was cooking dinner while Naruto was watching Izuku water walking. Making him run around and move and dodge while making sure when he dodges he uses his hand too. So he can still be above the water even without his hands. Hearing their doorbell ring, Inko called out to her husband to get the door. Getting the door, Naruto welcomed the Aoyorozu family in. Welcome to our house, we are glad that you can make it to our dinner. Naruto said to the family. Greeting each other. So where is your son Naruto? I wanted to see him and see how he is doing. Said. Oh, he is in our backyard training at the moment. I lost track of time watching him train that I didn't have him stop to get ready for guest. Naruto said while scratching the back of his head in shame. Oh, Momo can get him if you like, so they can finally meet each other. Momo needs friends anyways, maybe little Izuku can be her first friend that can be there for her. That sounds like a great idea, Momo, the backyard is that way. Izuku should be in the water right now, just call for him for me. Just say that dinner is done and he needs to get changed to eat. Naruto said to Momo. Nodding her head she looked around for water to see someone around her height run on top of water. Excuse me, but your dad said that the food is done. She said to him, hoping that she didn't have to repeat herself. But to no hope she didn't seem to get his attention. Excuse me. She yelled out only for him to get startled and fall into the water from the sudden interruption. She was worried that she might have killed her parents' friend's son. But was happy to see a head pop out of the water. She sees the boy get back on top of the water and start walking to her. Yes, do you need anything? The boy dripping wet from falling in the water. Yes, your dad said that dinner was ready and you have to come back to get ready to eat with my family. Momo said to Izuku. Nodding his head and got back onto the land. They both started their walk back to the house. Izuku, not having the science anymore, said. My name is Izuku Uzumaki Midoriya and you are? I'm Momo Yaoi Rozu. Nice to meet you, Momo. Nice to meet you too, Izuku. Can I ask you what you were doing? I was training with my quirk. My dad is teaching me how to train with my quirk since I got it from him and this is part of the training. That's so cool, my quirk makes me able to create things if I know what they are made out of some other stuff. But it gets boring because I have to do a lot of researching a thing to know how to make it. Your quirk is cool, Momo, you can create anything if you wanted. There are many things you can do. You have a nice quirk, what else can you do with it? Izuku went on his hero analysis. But that happening, this was a beginning of a really good relationship between friends. Flashback end. Remembering their first encounter. Izuku laughed out loud, remembering how they connected really easily and fast. Making their friendship grow quickly and strong. They know each other very well. Sometimes too well. Thanks, Momo, for that, but I want to know how you feel about me. What that lady said at the tea place got me thinking. That we always done a lot together and we trust each other a lot. I hope at least I trust you a lot. I don't know what to say, Izuku, you're my best friend and sometime I do think if we could ever become more than that. But that thought always stops because you never do anything that would be out of the normal for someone who likes someone. You know what I mean. Yeah, after training for a while I learned to be calm and collected on the outside, but on the inside that's a different story. My brain is thinking all the time when something happens. But when I'm with you that brain of mine goes into overdrive. You're very smart and very bubbly, that makes everyone want to be around. Also that you're very beautiful. Something that makes me very jealous of when a guy comes around or when people look at you with lust, you know. Izuku said while getting closer and closer to Momo until he was in front of her. You don't have to answer now, but I would like an answer when you're ready. Izuku hugged her and kissed her on the forehead and started down the road to his home. Momo stared at the leaving back of Izuku and sighed in relief. She would need to discuss more of these feelings with a friend. To figure out what to do. Training with dad. Father and son could be seen fighting it outside with Inko and Kitsuko watching them. They have been going at it for hours. Naruto wanted to increase his son's stamina and chakra. But what can be seen is Izuku panting while Naruto was sweating just a little. Izuku, let us finish this, I'm getting hungry and your mom made food not too long ago. Nodding his head, both creating a Rasengan in their hands. Charging each other saying Rasengan. Both jutsu cancelling each other out. Naruto walked over to Izuku and patted his back saying good job. You are getting better, you might be the strongest at the school when you get there. But in the next 5 months I will be teaching you a jutsu that very strong, that can destroy things to a cellular level. That you shouldn't use on human beings, only on machines. Because you might never know when you might fight anything that is not human. All day with Momo. Izuku was with Momo on a jog towards the beach. I'm glad that you wanted to go on this jog with me, Momo. Working on my stamina is something I need to do if I want to become a hero. They need to have energy to keep on working. No problem, Izu, I love spending time with you. But she would soon learn that this would be a big mistake that she would regret. Making it to the beach finally. Izuku looked at the filthy beach. People kept on putting their trash here, making it from the once beautiful beach to now the ugly beach. Moving along with their jog. Passing by the trash, something caught Izuku's attention. Turning his head, he saw 2 blondes in the trash. He saw All Might and another blonde, he couldn't see the face or anything. But shaking his head he continued on. Making their way back to Izuku's home. That was a great run, Momo. We should do it again sometime. Izuku said, panting lightly. Izuku, as much as I would love to, I think my body would die from how far we just ran. I don't think I can handle it. Momo, who was sweating a lot more. Alright, fine, we can do a shorter run next time. Izuku said with a smile. Walking towards the door but was stopped by Momo. Turning around to look at her to see what was wrong. But as soon as he turned around he felt something on his lips. Eyes wide opened in shock. He looks and sees that it was Momo kissing him. Her eyes closed and deciding that he doesn't want this to stop he starts to kiss back. Holding on to her to bring her closer. Pulling away from each other. Izuku looked at Momo, finally opened eyes only to see that her eyes weren't on him, behind him. Looking behind him he could see his little sister behind them looking at them with wide eyes, holding a fox with too many tails for a normal fox. Realizing what his sister might have saw. He was gonna say something, but his sister disappeared. But what could be heard was Mom, Dad, Oni-chan and Wani-chan are kissing. Sighing in defeat that something like this would happen to him. But turning back to Momo, who had a full-blown blush on her face. Leaning towards her so he can whisper in her ear. "So Momo, would you like to go out with me then, since that kiss was something?" Grabbing onto him and hugging him, Momo said a yes, and both went to face the parents of Izuku inside. Upon getting inside they could see Inko, Naruto, and Kitsuko waiting for them with big smiles on their faces. Well, Naruto looked like he just lost something. Reaching his parents, Inko grabbed both of them and squealed in joy. "It was about time you two got together. You guys been friends forever. And thank you." "Wait mom, what do you mean by thank you?" "Well, your dad and I had a bet going on who would make the first move, and I'm saying thank you is because I won. I bet that Momo made the first move. Your sister told me she saw you both walking towards the door, so she went to open the door for you only for her to see Momo kiss you." Inko went and grabbed Momo's hands and said, "Please take care of my son." Naruto went up as well and said the same thing and then put Izuku in a headlock and berated him that he made him lose the bet and something about you not manning up enough to make the first move. After escaping his dad's grasp, he grabbed Momo's hand and they went towards his room. Both could hear Naruto loudly say, "Don't make me a grandpa yet," both rushing even faster towards the room. Once they got there they both just stayed silent and waited until they were both calm enough to talk things through. "So we are dating now, right?" Seeing her nod, he smiled and went to hug her. "Oh, by the way, Izuku, I expect to be taken on a date soon," Momo said into his ear. Laughing at what she said. He said yeah, and when they felt ready to be ready for the teasing again from his parents, they went back out. Exam day. "Good luck, Izuku," each one of his family members said to him. His mother and sister hugged him and said their goodbyes. Walking out with his dad. "Remember son, just do your best. And help anyone out when they need it. I taught you how to heal wounds with a mystic palm," Naruto said. "I will dad, I will make you guys proud," Izuku said, holding out his fist to his dad. His dad did this a lot with him and it became their thing. Fist bumping his son back, Naruto ruffled his son's hair. Pulling a scroll from his pocket and handing it to his son. Looking at it, Izuku unsealed the scroll and released the item that was contained. It was a trench coat that was white and had red flames on the bottom and a tri-pronged kunai. "What is this, dad?" Izuku asked. "This is the trench coat I wore while I was a pro hero. I took the idea from my dad, and this tri-pronged kunai is something I will teach you later when I feel that you are ready. Just seal that kunai on your arm." Putting on the trench coat and saying his goodbye to his dad. He ran off to the exam before he was late. Looking at his son run away, he smiled. Sometime he was grateful that he was given another chance at life. "Your son will do great thing, Naruto." Looking down to see the red fur of a fox with 9 tails. This was his best friend Kurama. He was missed him a lot and wished his family could have met him. But knew that wouldn't have happened. But one day training with Izuku, he saw a red fox with 9 tails walking towards them. Naruto couldn't believe his eyes and ran towards his and was about to hug him but was scratched on the face. Looking at the fox still, he could see the fox smiling at him. At least the way a fox can only smile. Knowing that this was Kurama, he held out his fist and the fox fist bumped back. Grabbing the scroll attached to his neck, Naruto opened it and read, "Naruto, I know you missed Kurama and he missed you too, so I decided that I will send him to you. To have something to remember of your past life. A friend from the past so you won't be lonely. Signed, Kami." Silently thanking Kami for this, he introduced his friend to his family and his family adored him, at least the females did. After that Kurama stayed with the family as a pet. "Yeah, I know he will, he isn't like me at all. Yeah, he isn't an annoying brat that say he will be something until they died." Hey, what is that supposed to mean? Not getting an answer, only getting a fox that walked away back into the house. Outside the training grounds. Izuku could see that all the trainees getting ready for the start of the exam. Seeing the giant door open. Seeing as people were waiting for a countdown, he ran forward. His father beat into his the shinobi way. Looking underneath of everything. So he ran forward knowing that in a real situation that nobody will give you a countdown. What are you all waiting for? There isn't a countdown in real fight with a villain, so go. All charging forward to fence at this exam. But as they run through the doors they see destroyed machine lying everywhere. And up ahead was the examined standing ahead with lightning in his hand. Then he disappearing in a swirl of fire from the feet up and looking back with his glowing Sharingan. Seeing the eyes, they people that could see it hesitated before moving along and finding robots to destroy for the exam. The teacher viewing room. Did you guys see that kid that destroyed those machines in mere minutes of the exam starting? One of the teachers said. Who is this kid, and the way he disappeared was something else. Another one said. His name is Izuku Uzumaki Midoriya, he is the former number 1 hero son. All Might said to everyone. Everyone looks in shock. The former 1 hero son was taking the exam, they didn't even know he had a child. He is the kid that saved another kid from that slime monster on TV. Eraserhead said. Yes, he is, his dad has trained him ever since he was 4. His son wanted to be the strongest hero or the best hero he can be. So his dad trained him to be the strongest student at UA. All Might said. All looking back to the screen seeing all the other contenders. Mai should have enough points to get in the school. So might as well help people who are injured. Helping people in need is what a hero does. Izuku thought. Summoning a few clones and having them scatter around to find people who need help. Viewing room. Would you look at that he made clones of and they are healing people who hurt themselves on the robot. Well, looks like this kid is serious about becoming a hero. Midnight said. Well, let's us test his resolve and see how he deals with this. Would you do the honor powerloader? The principal Nezu said. Nodding his head and pressing the red button that was covered by a glass box. Exam area. A giant machine came out of nowhere destroying nearby building. Making rocks falling everywhere. Izuku looks at the machine with envy. He hasn't been really able to use this jutsu on anything but the ground and trees. So he was excited to use it against this. Jumping down from his spot and seeing everyone running away from the machine. The people passing him while he waited for everyone to pass by. When everyone passed by he saw a female struggling under rocks, trying to get out of the way of the robot that was about to step on her. Izuku dashed as fast as he could to get to her to pull her out of the rocks. The robot slammed its foot down. The teachers stood up looking at what just has happened. When the dust cleared away they could see a green figure underneath the robot foot. They see Izuku holding the girl in his arms with a green figure holding the foot up so that it won't crush them. Izuku pushing the robot off. Izuku jumped back not taking his eyes off the enemy in front of him. Dispersing the Susanoo when he landed. Izuku set the girl down and made a seal-less clone to start healing her where she was injured. Walking towards the robot that was back on its feet to deal with the threat in front of it. Despite the protest from the female he saved. He made another clone then he started on his jutsu that he was taught by his dad. He created the Rasen Shuriken running towards the robot. He dodged the incoming fist and started to run on it. Dodging anything that is coming his way Izuku jumped up and hit the robot under its head, pushing it upwards into the air. Getting pushed back from the air and moving towards a building top he slid across until he came to a stop. He then looked up to the robot in the sky and saw that the explosion of the Rasen Shuriken happened. Taking over the robot until none of it can be seen anymore. Once it was over the robot was not seen only the clear blue sky. The examined stood in shock of what they just saw. They couldn't believe that one person just destroyed that robot with one move. Time is up. Present Mick said. With a bell ringing. Viewing room. Holy moly, what has Naruto been teaching his kid? That move could kill someone if used on them. All Might was thinking. Well, it would seem that we have a strong student on our hand. That can control his quirk well. And knows how to become a true hero. The principal said. Alright everyone, time to evaluate what we saw and see who will enter this year as first years. Izuku was walking towards the exit and the students that was getting candy handed out to them by recovery girl. As he got closer each examined got out of his way and stood in silence. After leaving the place Izuku went straight home to get some rest. After using Susanoo he felt more drained. He hasn't been practicing with his new abilities because he wanted to perfect the one he already knew. His dad beat it into him that before he learned something new he needed to master the one he already knew. Making it home Izuku walked into his parents and sister waiting for him with his favorite food on the table. Katsudon, his favorite food that once he got a taste of it he couldn't stop eating it. How did you do on your exam Izuku? His mother asked him. I think it went great. I got to use the jutsu dad taught me and it is a very powerful jutsu that I won't be using anytime soon. Izuku said. That's great honey, well you go take a shower, eat and rest up. Okay, we will wait to eat with you. Inko said. Okay, I'll be right back. After showering and eating. He went to his room and texted Momo that he was home and he was gonna go to sleep because he was tired just in case she wondered why he wouldn't answer her if she texted him while he slept. Week later. During his week he spent time with his family and his girlfriend. He took Momo out on dates and took her to the beach when the beach he went to as a kid was cleaned up by an unknown person. He was on a date with Momo right now and he took her to the tea place that they have went to many times before. Now that their date was coming to an end they went back to his place. Making it home he saw his dad and sister in the living room watching TV while he smelled food so he knew that his mom was cooking dinner. I'm home and I brought over Momo for dinner. Welcome home Oni-chan and hi Wani-chan. Kitsuko said running towards both of them. Izuku knelt down holding out his arms waiting for Kitsuko to jump in his arms. But when he saw her run past him and jump towards Momo and hugged her before him. He had a defeated look on his face. His sister loves his girlfriend more than him. Standing back up and walking towards the living room with Momo and Kitsuko in tow. Oh Izuku, you got mail from UA, time to see if you got in or not. Naruto said holding out the letter to his son. His mom came out of the kitchen to watch and see if her son has made it into the school. Opening the letter he saw a small animal wearing a suit. Chapter 3. The principal, test, and All Might. Izuku family and Momo can see a white animal standing there smiling. Hello Midoriya-kun, I am the principal of UA Principal Nezu. I would like to personally invite you to come visit UA this weekend. Bring your family as I would like to meet them as well. I will tell when we meet. Please don't be late. There are passes for your family and you to get in. And have a nice day. With that said, Izuku looked at his dad for an answer. What, don't look at me, this has never happened before to my knowledge. Well, great job son, you impressed the Nezu enough for him to invite you to UA before the school starts, so we will see what he wants before anything. Because I remember that they tell you if you got in or not. But things can change. Naruto said to Izuku. Nodding his head and walked away to his room with Momo behind him. Getting to his room, he sat down on his bed with Momo sitting next to him. Well, this is something new. I wonder what he wants and why he wants to meet my family. What are your thoughts about this, Momo? Well, what I think is that you did something during the exam that would make him impressed, or that he knows who your dad is and wants to know some things. Well, that could be it. But oh well, I will find out when I go there. We have some time before mom is done making dinner, so what would you like to do? I don't know. Thinking hard, he looks between her and the bed. Izuku does this for a little bit. Before grabbing Momo and laying on the bed with her. So is this what you wanted Izuku to do, you perv? I just wanted to lay down with my very beautiful girlfriend who I have known forever. Hearing him say that, she blushes and moves in closer to him. After a while they fell asleep waiting for dinner to be ready. Kitsuko opened her brother door to tell them that dinner was ready. Only to see them both sleeping together. Walking out to tell her parents that they were sleeping together. Grinning on her way there. Knowing that her parents might get the wrong idea. Skipping her way towards her parents. Mom, Dad, Oni-chan and Wani-chan are sleeping together. They are what? Inko shouted. Looking at her husband and told he to stop them. Nodding his head, he walked to his secret compartment for this moment. He wasn't going to stop him. He wanted grandchild before it was too late. But he didn't want grandchildren right now. He was still young. Opening the compartment and it was a box of condoms. Rushing his way to his son's room. Stopping in front of it and taking deep breaths before he busted in the room. After composing himself, he grabbed the doorknob and swung the door open, shouting. My son, you have finally became a man, but I don't want to be a grandfather yet, so use protection. Izuku and Momo bolted up from their nap. Looking at what made all this noise and see Naruto standing there with a box of condoms in his hand, showing it all high for them to see it. Dad, what are you doing and why are you holding that box? Momo, looking at what the box was and hardcore, turned red up a storm. Tsuko-chan said you were sleeping together, so I wanted you to have safe sex. But I guess your mother and I had the wrong idea. Naruto said, only to turn around to see Inko looking at him. Hi honey, how are you? Naruto said innocently, hoping not to get harmed by his wife. Don't hi honey me, I told you to stop them from having sex, not encourage it. Inko said to Naruto and grabbed his ear and dragged his back to the dining room. Kitsuko, you traitor, I taught you how to prank people and you pranked the teacher, how dare you betray me like that? I'll get you back for this, Naruto shouted at Kitsuko, who was standing at the front of the door, watching her dad get dragged away with Inko. Momo and Izuku turned to see the little girl giggle at Naruto antics. Kitsuko, did you trick mom and dad to believe Momo and I was doing the deed? I have no idea what you are talking about, Nai-chan. Laughing while walking away. Not before telling them that dinner was done and they should come down and eat. Your sister is a prankster just like your dad. And you're calm like your mother. Your family is something else. But it's something refreshing to have. Momo commented. Yeah, they are, and I wouldn't want to change that for anything in the world. Izuku responded. Weekend UA school grounds. Izuku and his family has arrived at the UA school grounds, walking towards the gates. When they get inside the building, they see the principal standing there waiting for them with the other teachers. Before anything was said, everyone saw a flash of blonde. OMG, you're so cute, even with that scar on your face looks cute on you. Kitsuko said while shaking Nezu side to side. Naruto laughing at what happening, Inko looked worried on what was gonna happen and tells her daughter to come back. Nodding to her mother, she put Nezu back down and pat his head, then skipped back towards her family. The teachers looked at the family weirdly. Looking at the family, the teachers saw a red fox on Naruto's shoulders. Feeling eyes on him, Kurama opened his eyes and stared into the souls of the teachers. The teachers feeling dread from the fox, they all looked away. Kurama smirked and went back to his sleep around Naruto's neck. Alright then, well, this is the UA staff here to welcome you. I called you here to test your skills more. Knowing that you were trained by a former pro, we want to see if there are really anything we can teach you. Izuku nodding his head. He asked, is that it? So what will you be doing to test my skills? We are going to have some teachers fight you. Of course they won't go full out on you like they would on villains. Nezu said. Naruto laughed. Everyone looked at him. I'll tell you this, you shouldn't underestimate him. He will prove you wrong, and he is not some simple kid that you can beat because he is younger than you and has less experience. Naruto said to the teachers. We will see, alright, follow us, we are going to one of the training grounds. Walking towards the training grounds they see a goddamn giant flat arena. Alright Midoriya-kun, you'll be facing Eraserhead here. Izuku looked at the man who seemingly didn't want to be here. Walking away from the group of people, Izuku and Eraserhead were across from each other. Izuku pulling out the tri-kunai from his back pouch. And got into a fighting stance. I hope you don't mind, sir, that I wanted to test out how to use this weapon, if that is okay with you. Eraserhead nodded his head and charged forward. Izuku waiting too for him to closer before slashing towards him. Seeing him back off to not get cut. Izuku went in to stop him from getting ready again and started his barrage of slashes towards him. Eraserhead dodging the slashes grabbed Izuku's arm with the kunai and picked him up and threw him away. Not wasting any time, he shoots his scarf towards Izuku. Izuku, seeing that something was heading towards him, tosses the kunai towards the incoming scarf. Seeing the kunai stop the scarf, Izuku dashed forward with a Rasengan in hand. Eraserhead, seeing thing, waited until he got close enough to use his quirk to cancel Izuku out. Getting closer, Izuku thrusted his hand towards Eraser's stomach. Seeing this, Eraser activated his quirk in hopes of making the blue ball disappear. But as the ball didn't disappear, Eraser, seeing this, flipped backwards while kicking Izuku's arm upwards to dodge getting hit. On landing, Eraser felt someone hand on his shoulder only to be pulled down to the ground and with a kunai towards his neck. Looking up at the person who had the kunai at his throat and saw that it was Izuku. Getting up with the help from Izuku, he could see two Izuku, one across from him and one that had the kunai. Hearing clapping, Izuku and Eraserhead looked towards the audience. Walking back towards the group, Principal Nezu said, well Izuku, you have a high battle IQ, you outsmarted Eraserhead here. You wasted no movements to defeat your enemy as quickly as possible. Well, what do you think, Eraserhead? I think he has potential to be a hero, more than what I have seen in a while. When did you create a clone to grab me? Eraserhead tirelessly said. When you did your backflip, I created a clone when I saw your eyes not on me. Izuku said. Well Izuku, good job today, I wanted to personally see your skill level because your destructive power could kill someone. From what we saw during your exam, you destroyed the monster robot that really no one should have, honestly, unless you're someone like All Might here, for example. But we don't know how much control you have over your power, so we wanted to see if you can cause potential harm to classmates or teachers with your abilities. But from this fight we didn't really see control but intelligence. So does your son have control of his power to a degree where it is safe to fight against first years? Nezu said. Well, of course he does. Who do you think trained him since he was 4? He has great control, I'm pretty sure he can take on most of your students, even the third years. The only trouble that he would have is against your big 3. I seen those 3 in action, my son doesn't have enough experience to win a fight against them in a 1v1 fight. But in due time he should be able to. Naruto proudly said to Nezu. Well then, I do trust you on what you believe, but I want to know what we can teach him here at UA, because the educational studies. Well, if you don't mind as well, we would like to do some test while you are here. But first let us go to the teacher conference room to talk about your score. Teacher room. All the teachers are seated in their spots while the Uzumaki Midoriya family is at the end, or the U with chairs for them. Your score was the highest out of everyone that did the exam. Scoring a good 120 points. Well, you were ahead of everyone, figuring out that you can start whenever you destroyed the robots in mere moments before the rest showed up. That was firstly surprising to see, and you stopped to heal those that were injured was another thing that was interesting. Most people would try to get as many points as possible instead of helping each other. We figured out your identity from All Might here. He told us who you were and who you were trained by. The main thing we called you here for was your control of your power, because we have seen a lot of quirks that are destructive, yours was on another level. But thank you for taking some time to come here on our request. Nezu said to Izuku. Yeah, I know the power I have is very dangerous, my father beat it into me that I have to be very careful on what I do with it or he will beat me to the ground if I ever did something wrong with it and for bad purposes. He had me learn control the most when he was training me, he wanted me to be ready to control the power. So the basic were ingrained into my memory by him. So I can be the best hero I can. Believe me on this, I won't use any dangerous moves on fellow students if that's what you're wondering. And believe me, I can destroy a lot of things with ease, as you have seen. I will use my power responsible. Izuku said. Thank you for the reassurance, Izuku. We will have you do some test before you go and let me be the first person to welcome you here at UA. We are grateful that we can teach you for the next 3 years here. Nezu said. After some tests the family went home. Well son, now you know why they wanted to see you and that you're attending next year. Naruto said. Yeah, I understand that they wanted to know if I can control my power or not. Izuku said, looking out the window in their home. Well, you know what this means, that we can train you into the ground before you have school. Naruto said, grinning. Teacher room, without the Midoriya family. Well, my fellow teachers, what do you think of? He seems like a promising student that wants to help people. Nezu said to the teachers. I think he is gonna be a good hero someday, he will lead the new generation into success. All Might said. He had potential, but we will see how long it will last. Eraserhead said. The other teachers agreed and made points. Looking at the test he did, the teachers saw high-end numbers showing him to be the best. Back at the Uzumaki Midoriya home. Kitsuko-chan, can you come here? Naruto called for his dog Thur. I'm here, Dad, what do you need? Kitsuko asked. Well, good news is that we are going to start your training when your brother is gone. And you'll be stronger than him and you can surprise him in a spar when you get trained up. Naruto said happily. Yay, we finally can train and I can beat Oni-chan. Kitsuko said while jumping at her father to hug him in joy. Yes, my dogs, or you will beat up Izuku for making me lose the bet against Inko-chan. Naruto thought while laughing on the inside on thinking on how to get revenge on his son. First day of school. Izuku was walking to the school with Momo holding hands. Making their way to their classroom, they were stopped in the door of hearing Bakugo voice yelling at a student. Izuku sighing about how he has to deal with Kitsuki still, but was stopped when he felt a tap on his shoulder. Turning around, Momo and Izuku saw a brown-haired girl. Hi, I'm Uraraka Achako. I wanted to say thank you for saving me during the exam. I wouldn't be here if it was for you. And you were amazing on what you did to that robot, that was something else. No problem, I was doing what anyone should do when someone in need of help. If you're here to make friends, please leave. Hearing a voice, they looked and saw a man in a yellow sleeping bag. Getting out of his bag, you guys need to be faster than this. Heroes need to learn time management. Put these suits on and go outside to the field. Eraserhead said to the class. Field. We are going to be testing your quirk through a series of tests. You will need to use your quirk to the best of your ability. Eraserhead said to the class. Izuku, you will be out of these tests because you did them already, and for motivation here are Izuku scores, which we will be using as a minimum score that you all will need to score to stay here. Whoever doesn't reach these scores in majority of these tests will be expelled from school. Eraserhead said to the class. This will be easy, right? We can match his score. He is a first year like us, we should be at least close to his score or near it. As the test went on, the rest of the class found out that the scores that Izuku had was way out of their league. They all looked hopeless because of the score differences. You loser shouldn't give up, Izuku is probably the strongest out of everyone in our year. Bakugo said to everyone. How would you know that he is the strongest in our year? Someone shouted. I know Izuku and his family since we were kids, his training was on another level. You guys wouldn't last a day in his training regime. Bakugo is right, you guys shouldn't worry about Izuku's score, you should worry about doing what you can do. We all have different quirks. Momo said. All nodding their heads, they all tried their best until the test were over. Alright, here are the scores. Aizawa said, showing the class the scores. The class sees the difference of scores from Izuku and only some of the selected few had close scores to Izuku's. All looking down because they knew that they were going to be expelled from the school on the first day. Alright class, let's continue on to the classroom. Eraserhead said. What, we aren't going to get expelled, sir? Lita said. No, you aren't. I showed you Izuku's scores because I knew most of you from your quirks won't be close to his score at all. But this test also showed how much willpower you students have at becoming a hero. Those who gave up and didn't use their quirk to their best its abilities were going to be useless in the hero world. You can't run away when something is out of your league when you're a pro. You have to stand and fight until the civilians are safe and sound from the villains. Enter, you fight until you have someone back you up to defeat the foe before you. So making you face something that you know you can't defeat makes you want to go beyond your limits to face the challenge. Which you all did to a certain extent that was acceptable. Eraserhead said. Thank you for the explanation, sir, I will try harder. Lita said. From this day on, show your worth on becoming a true hero that this society needs. Also, having two of your classmates help you out with some vocal motivation, telling you not to worry about Izuku's score but others around you. Tired Eraser walked off. School day end. Izuku was walking home with Momo. Izuku, your scores were so high they were hard to catch up on. Momo whined. Yeah, when I went to meet with the principal they had me do some test for my quirk before I left to go back home with my family. I didn't think they would use it for today though. Izuku smiled to Momo. After walking Momo home, Izuku made it home. Having a feeling that something is wrong, he slowly opened the door to his home. The house was silent. This was something rare. It is usually his dad watching TV or his mother making food. But it was dead silent. Moving, slowing, but with his guard up just in case of anything. He heard something move on the stairs. Kitsuko, is that you? Izuku said, wondering if it's her. Hearing no response, he looked around more. Walking, he heard another sound. looking around where the sound came and saw nothing. He definitely knew someone was here. Turning on his Sharingan, he wanted to be on guard for anything. Clearing rooms on the first floor, he found nothing. Then he heard another sound that sounded like something running up the stairs. He ran towards the stairs, then slowly stepped up the stairs, making sure not to get surprised when making it to the top. While looking at the walls, he could feel like someone was watching him. Looking at a certain part of the wall for a good few seconds, thinking something was there, he continued on. Looking around the walls, making sure nothing can jump at him from there. Making it to the top, he took a look around once more. Seeing nothing, he continued his search. Then he heard a yell behind him. Turning around, he sees Kitsuko flying towards him. With his Sharingan active, he could see an evil-looking smile on her face, but turned into a horrified expression when she saw me looking at her. Kitsuko Pav. Du-chan gave me instruction on to keep up on E-chan training. They will be going out to dinner with each other. And will come back later. Tu-chan wants me to see if I can catch on E-chan off guard. Tu-chan been teaching me how to use jutsu for stealth. Taught me how to blend in with the surroundings well so I can't be seen. Made it to the point where even he sometimes couldn't see her. Which made Naruto proud but also scared because his daughter took too much from him. So her pranks are going to be something else. Anyways, I was watching Ani-chan from the distance, making sure I make some sounds here and there showing that someone is there. This was also training for me. I can increase my reserves from what Tu-chan said and control. So watching Ani-chan carefully look at his surroundings, I tried not to giggle and give away my position. Seeing him walk up the stairs, he looked at the walls. Seeing him look at me for a few longer seconds, I thought I was caught until he continued on his search. Ani-chan eyes were scary sometimes when they were active. Like they were looking into your soul and breaking you apart. When Ani-chan made it to the top and his eyes were faced away from me, I took this chance to get him. Using my power, I flew towards my Ani-chan and yelled, hopeful that he won't turn around in time. Smiling when he didn't turn around, but that changed when he turned around quickly, his Sharingan active spinning to access the situation in front of him. My smiling face went down seeing that he was reaching out to grab me. Kitsuko Pav end. Patching Kitsuko, Izuku lifted her up to be face to face with him. "What ya doing there, Amato?" Izuku asked his sister. "Well, I was trying to catch you off guard. Tu-chan said he wanted to have me try to catch you off guard. So my mission was a failure, but I almost got you," Kitsuko said. "Yes, you almost got me. I couldn't even see you. Has dad been training you when I'm not around?" Izuku said while putting her back down on the ground. "Yes, Tu-chan has been training me, and with my quirk I will catch you off guard when you least expect it and I will have my victory over you," Kitsuko deviously said. Kitsuko quirk was something to be afraid of. Apparently when their mother was giving birth, that her quirk gets stronger than ever, but that was from what dad told me. So when that happened, Kitsuko quirk was an evolved variant of their mother's, which was a full telekinesis. Which she often used on herself so she doesn't have to walk sometimes. Which she also got dad's quirk. Which I think is hereditary, so my children and Kitsuko children will have our quirk as well, and maybe our partner quirk. On the thought of children, he thought of Momo and what their children would look like. Izuku thought. Getting a quick blush on his face of having children with Momo, he shook it off and looked at his sister that was giving him a look of annoyance that he wasn't listening to her and off in his own thoughts. "I'm hungry, Ani-chan, so you have to make food. Tu-chan and Ka-chan went out for dinner, so you have to make food today," Kitsuko said while making her way downstairs with her brother right behind her. "Alright, what would you like to eat then?" Izuku asked while looking through the fridge to find what they could make. "I want ramen," Kitsuko yelled, running towards the living to watch TV while Izuku cooked the food. Rolling his eyes at her, he knew what she wanted because that's all she would eat when their parents went out for a date. She got the love of ramen from their daddy, gave her some when he was eating, and she took his bowl from him and ran off to finish it. He chased after her only to be stopped by their mom because she didn't want him to chase their daughter to get his food back when it was hard to get Kitsuko to eat food in the first place. Fun fact, Kitsuko is a picky eater. It took their mom threats for her to eat something else. Finish making the food, he called out for Kitsuko and seeing her rushing towards the kitchen table. "Well, how was school today, Kitsuko?" Izuku asked. "It was good, I did boring stuff today," Kitsuko responded. Nodding his head, their parents came back a few hours later. Naruto could see his son giving him a look. Grinning, he walked over to him and asked, "How do you like your new training?" "It was interesting to say the least. I didn't know you were training Kitsuko while I was out. She almost got me because she didn't have to make sound to get behind me if she wanted because she can basically fly. And the jutsu you taught her basically made her invisible to even my eyes. You made it where she can prank anyone without getting caught," Izuku said. "I know, right, and I am proud of it. She can help you train because when I was training her it was hard for me to see her sometimes when she used that jutsu. But she will be strong like you one day, maybe even stronger. She is a prodigy in her own way," Naruto said. Yeah, she will be something in the future. Mom isn't going to like what she does if she goes pranking people. Then she will blame you dad for teaching her stuff. Then it will go downhill from there. Because as the saying goes, happy wife happy house. And if mom isn't happy then bad things happen. Good luck dad. Izuku said yawning. Naruto thought about that for a second and thought I'll risk it, I have many ways to make Inko happy again. Next day. Izuku was waiting in class with Momo. So Momo, are you and Izuku like a thing or something? Mina asked the black-haired beauty. Yes we are. Momo said, rubbing Izuku's head while he was laying face down on the desk. Oh, how long have you guys known each other? Mina said, gushing over them. We known each other since we were kids. I think the only person to know him longer than me is Bakugo over there. Their parents were friends in school and been friends forever I suppose. Momo said. Their conversation was cut short when All Might entered the room. Hello class, we are going to be doing a battle training. Get dress up and meet me at this training ground and I'll explain more of the details when everyone arrives. All Might rushes out towards the grounds while leaving the class staring at the spot he once left. Izuku was the first to stand up and walk out with the others soon following. Once everyone was at the training grounds they saw All Might waiting for them. But before that they were checking out everyone customs to see what they made. Is everyone here? All Might asked the class. Looking around he saw that Izuku was missing. Where young Uzumaki at? All Might asked the class. Everyone started to converse with each other saying if they saw him or not. I am here. Izuku said, walking from behind the class. Turning to see him they saw Izuku walking towards them. Dress in black pants, green vest with pockets, and to finish it was the trench coat that he got from his dad when he did his exam. He is wearing what Minato is wearing. What he was wearing wasn't the only thing people were looking at, it was his eyes. Izuku had his Sharingan active. Making his way to them he stopped and asked what. Seeing them looking star-eyed into his eyes. Your eyes, they are different from what they are before. Kirishima shouted. Oh yes, this is part of my training, it was instructed to me by my dad today. I have to keep them active as long as I can. Izuku said. You look like your father, young Midoriya. Well, moving on, we are doing a battle training. So you will be paired with another person. It will be a 2 against 2 situation, one team will be a hero team and the other will be a villain team. All Might read from a piece of paper. Sweat dropping, Izuku realized that All Might isn't the best teacher around. Teams will be picked random from this lottery box. All Might said. All Might read out the teams and there was another lottery on what team was facing who, and it was him and Ichako, the girl he saved during the exam, that was his partner. He kinda wished it was Momo because she knew how he fought, but she got stuck with a pervert that was looking at her with lewd eyes. Holding back from knocking him out. He listened to who he was going to face. To his surprise he had to go against Bakugo and Lita. When he looked at Bakugo direction he saw him smiling, a smile saying that he going to go all out against him because he knew Izuku can take it and dish some back at him. Making his blood rush. Alright teams, go get ready, young Bakugo and Lita please set up and young Midoriya and Uraraka please get ready while the villains are setting up. All Might said. The 4 walked towards the building where the battle training is going to happen at. The 2 stopped in front of the building waiting for the other 2 to walk in and set up. Izuku looked at Bakugo who stopped in front of the door. Izuku, you better not hold back against me, you hear me? I want to see how far you gotten so I can surpass you. Bakugo yelled before walking in. What was that about, Izuku-san? Uraraka asked because Bakugo doesn't seem to like anyone during their classes. We have a rivalry going on, he wants to be the strongest hero and so do I, but there can only be one. Izuku shortly said. Battle time, Team D versus Team A. Alright students, you can begin now, you have 15 minutes to touch the bomb or capture the villains. Now go, All Might said. Izuku and Uraraka ran towards the building. Chapter 4. Alright Uraraka-san, I know Bakugo is going to come for me. I know that because I'm one of the few people that can face him and have him go out. He wants to see how far I have gotten. How much stronger I have become and to see if he needs to work harder to surpass me. Izuku said to Uraraka while they were waiting outside. Alright Midoriya-kun, what is the plan then? Uraraka asked. I'm going to fight him and win as fast as I can. So I can help you with Lita. His speed is something not to joke about. So you have to look for the bomb yourself until I get there. Izuku said. Nodding her head, they were able to go when they heard they could. Running inside the building they tried to clear as many floors as possible before Bakugo came. Billions Pav. Hey Four Eyes, I'm going after Izuku, you wait here and defend the bomb. Bakugo said. Wait, aren't we supposed to work together to stop them from getting the bomb? Lita said. Yeah, we are, I'll stop them until the time runs out. So you wait here and defend, and if one gets by then you're here to stop them. Bakugo said in response. Looking at him, Lita didn't really have anything to counter what he was told, so he nodded his head and started to clear the room of stuff that the heroes could use against him while he was waiting. Clearing the floors became easy because Izuku made clones to go on the higher floors. Izuku, getting the memories of a clone that was destroyed by Bakugo, he turned to Uraraka and said, "Bakugo is coming, we need to hurry, the 1 to 4th floor are clear. I'm going to have a clone go with you to somewhat help you against Lita." Hearing the explosion coming closer and closer, they saw Bakugo come around from the corner. Stopping across from them. Bakugo looked at Izuku, ignoring Uraraka. "Let's do this, Izuku, it's time we had our rematch, you've been busy with training, so we couldn't spar. What better time to do this than now?" Bakugo said, making explosions in his hand. Izuku nodding his head, whispering to Uraraka, "I'm going to make a opening, and when you see it, I need you to run with the clone and see if you can get to the bomb." "I can try," she replied. Once that was said, Izuku blurred towards Bakugo, grabbing him by his neck, picking him up and throwing him into the ground so hard he broke through the floor. "Uraraka-san, go with my clone while I deal with Bakugo. My clone can only take one couple hits before disappearing. I put more chakra into it so it can take a couple before goes." As soon as he said that, Uraraka saw Izuku jump down the Bakugo-like hole in the ground. Running off, she gave one look back and then kept on going. Fight time, Izuku vs Bakugo. Looking towards the lying down Bakugo. "You good, Bakugo?" Izuku asked. Am I fine, you threw me through the fucking floor, what do you think?" Bakugo said. Getting up, Bakugo cracked his bones and got into his stance. Izuku went through some hand signs and shot a jet stream of water at Bakugo. Seeing the water come towards him, Bakugo put up his arm and pulled the pin. Sending the blast towards the water and overcoming it. Seeing the blast coming his way, Izuku smiled. It has been a while since the last time they had fought, and Bakugo must have been training hard to catch up. But he wasn't going to be defeated that easy. Viewing room. "Holy shit, did you guys see that Izuku threw Bakugo through the ground?" Kaminari said. All Might was looking at the screen intensely. Seeing the power of a mere kid was impressive. The class continued to look at the school. They see that Bakugo was in a hole in the ground, seeing Izuku looking at Bakugo, waiting for him to get up. Watching Izuku shoot water at Bakugo and Bakugo shooting a blast of explosions towards the water. The explosions overcoming the water and heading towards Izuku. Seeing the blast overcome Izuku, they looked in worry that one of their classmates got fried up by another classmate. Once the blast was clear, they could see a glowing skeleton around Izuku. "What the hell is that thing around him?" Mineta yelled. "That is an ability that is part of his quirk." "Well, Izuku quirk has many abilities that he can use." "Well, Izuku wouldn't want me to tell his secrets, so you'll have to fight him or watch him fight and see what he can do," Momo said. Fight time, Izuku vs Bakugo. "You have gotten stronger, Bakugo. Last time your explosion never overpowered my technique," Izuku said. "What do you think I've been doing, dumb, sitting and waiting around while you got stronger and I didn't? If I want to be the #1 hero, I can't be beat by the like of you," Bakugo said, taking off his gauntlets. "I rather have you not break these, let's do this," Bakugo said, running towards Izuku. Nodding his head. Izuku waits for Bakugo to strike first. Seeing a fist comes towards his face, Izuku dodges it by jumping towards the left. Seeing this opportunity to strike Bakugo. Izuku throws a punch towards Bakugo. Seeing a punch aimed at him, Bakugo angles his hands to use his quirk to change his position. So kicking Izuku's arm away, he makes another explosion and pushes himself away from Izuku to readjust himself. After landing, Bakugo made a run towards Izuku, throwing a kick towards him. Seeing it get blocked by Izuku's arm, Bakugo twists his body around to get his leg away from being grabbed and throws a punch only for his wrist to be caught by Izuku. Izuku seeing smirk towards him, he looked towards Bakugo, fist slowly opening. Seeing this happen, Izuku quickly grabbed Bakugo fist with his other hand to stop it from opening and releasing an explosion towards him. After that, Izuku pulling Bakugo closer with a hand on his wrist and kneed Bakugo in the stomach. Letting go of his wrist and hand, Izuku let Bakugo fly back from the force of the knee. Bakugo hit the wall and fell onto his hands and knees. He spit out some blood. Izuku hits are stronger than the last time they fought. Heading back up to see Izuku in front of him with his eyes staring straight into his eyes. Like it was digging into his soul. Those eyes of his family was something else. Gives him shivers of the power they hold. "Sorry, Bakugo, I have to end this, I'm on a time limit," was the last words he heard before he was kneed again in the stomach, just a lot harder than before. To knock the wind out of him. Feeling something wrapped around him, he knew he got caught. "I still have a long ways to go before I can face him. I'm glad I know I need to train harder," Bakugo thought before he slumped against the wall and started to rest. Ichako and Izuku clone. "I was running with Izuku clone. I was following behind him, he told me to follow him, so if they got a surprised attack by Iida, Izuku clone would take the hit and give information back to the original. After clearing all the floors but the last one. Busting through the door they could see Ida standing there waiting for them. "Uraraka-san, can you make yourself float?" Izuku asked quietly. Nodding her head, "I'm going to toss you towards the bomb, since we need to just touch the bomb and we win. But I don't think Ida gonna let us touch the bomb. I think he can move since during the explanation All Might said the villains can move the bomb wherever they want, so that makes me sure that the bomb is hollow and can be moved with enough strength. Get your capture tape ready, I'm going to give you an opening to capture Ida." Standing in front of Izuku clone, Uraraka made herself float up in the air. She felt a push on her back and suddenly flew across the room towards the bomb quickly. Seeing below her Ida looking at her, then shook out of his shock and ran towards the bomb and grabbed it and ran away with it and set it down. "You'll have to try harder than that to beat me," Ida said, laughing at Uraraka, who landed across from him. As he said that, he felt a presence behind him and looked behind just in time to see Izuku in the air with his leg coming towards his back. Getting launched forward towards Uraraka. Uraraka slid under the flying Ida and made him weightless and then tied the tape around him. "Team Midoriya and Uraraka wins," All Might announced. The rest of the class can't see Uraraka jumping in happiness and Izuku just showing a smile. Observer room. After all the teams went. The class gathered around All Might. "You all did great today, I hope you all got a look at what your classmate can do. Because maybe in the future you will work together when you guys are heroes." Class dismissed. All Might said, then ran off to wherever he was needed. End of school. Izuku and Momo were on their way to walk out of the school grounds until Izuku got a message from his dad. "Boy Izuku, bring the Bakugo Brad, I'm waiting in the front of the school for you." "Dad." "Okay." Izuku. "Alright Momo, we have to get Bakugo before we go, my dad is waiting in the front for us," Izuku said to Momo. Seeing her nod her head, they left to find the blonde. Walking back in the school they bumped into their classmates, each saying their goodbyes as they left. Until they finally found Bakugo walking towards them with his bag over his shoulder. "Hey Bakugo, let's go," Izuku called out. Looking at them, he continued his walk towards the gate. Walking all together they could see Naruto standing there leaning against the car waiting for them. When they got close enough they could see Naruto disappear and next to them with Bakugo in a headlock. "What is up, brat? I heard you lost to Izuku, haha," Naruto said with giving Bakugo a nuggie. "Shut up you old man, it is reasonable with the training you guys do," Bakugo said, trying to get out of the headlock. "Haha, maybe you should join and I'll help you get stronger," Naruto said, letting go of him. "Yeah, no, last time I joined you guys in your training I was knocked out, not by my own will either. And I didn't wake up either for a few days. If I do come and train it will be me using your equipment," Bakugo said, rubbing his head. Thus giving him a thumbs up, Naruto then said, "Alright, I asked your guys' parents if you can help me real quick with something. We are going to help a friend move." All getting in a car and went on their way. "Are we training today, Dad?" Izuku asked. "No, not today," Naruto responded, nodding his head. They finally stopped and they saw a hospital. "Alright you three, let's go," Naruto said. "What are we doing here? I thought you said we were going to help someone move," Izuku asked. "We are," was all Naruto said, and they got inside. "Excuse me miss, we are here for Rei Todoroki," Naruto said to the nurse. "Oh yes, Todoroki-san is ready to go, she is waiting in room 203, nurse said to the four. Saying their thanks they left for the room. Heading to the room, Naruto stopped before opening the door and let a sigh out before opening the door. When they all got in the room they could see a beautiful white-haired woman packing some clothes in a suitcase. "Hey, I'm here to come get you," Naruto said softly as he was walking towards her. Smiling at Naruto, she hugged him. "Hello Naruto, how are you?" Rei asked. "I'm doing great, I'm sure Inko would be happy to see you again," Naruto said. "You guys saw me last week, but yes, I'm sure she would be happy, and so would I," Rei said. "This is your moving crew, the blonde is Kitsuki Bakugo, the green head is my son Izuku Midoriya Uzumaki, and the black head is Momo Yaoi Rozu," Naruto said to Rei. Turning to the three, Rei smiled and said, "Hello, nice to meet you all, and thank you for helping me move, even though I don't have a lot of stuff to move." Walking up to Izuku and inspecting him, "He looks a lot of Inko, well Kitsuko is a lot like you." Getting a little nervous of the grey eyes of the white-haired women staring intently at him. Can we get moving already?" Bakugo said. "Oh yeah, we can, sorry," Rei said. She pointed to the stuff she needed to be moved. After getting everything packed they all left the hospital. Naruto dropped off Bakugo at his home and the four went on their way. Arriving home, Izuku saw extended building on the side of their home. Dad, why is there another building next to our house?" Izuku asked. "Oh ha, I forgot to tell you, Rei here is going to be living next to us," Naruto said, laughing. Izuku's sweat dropped at his dad's antics about things that affect his life. Unpacking all the stuff into the new building that looked very nice on the inside. Izuku and Momo left towards Izuku's room. Izuku grabbed Momo and went towards the bed and laid down. When do you think your dad made that building? Momo asked. I don't ask anymore with the things he does because that building was not there when we went to school today. Izuku replied, rubbing Momo's head. You think the Toridoki-san from school is related to Rei? Momo said, moving closer into Izuku's body. Maybe, I don't know. I know that my dad was friends with All Might and Endeavor when he was still a hero. My dad didn't talk much about his friends or who he was friends with. The only person I know well is Aunt Mitsuki because she came over often and brought Bakugo with her. Izuku said. Nodding her head, Momo closed her eyes and went to sleep. Naruto and Rei. Thank you for letting me stay with you guys, Naruto, it means a lot to me, Rei said, unpacking the last of her stuff. No problem, Rei, I said I was gonna help you no matter what. That's what friends are for. Naruto said. It's been tough having only some of my children visit me. I wish Shoto would visit me sometimes. His father is something else. I wish I went to you sooner. Rei said, looking out the window. Naruto walked towards Rei and gave her a side hug. He has always been like that, can't change what doesn't want to be changed. Hearing the door open, Naruto and Rei saw Inko and Kitsuko walking in. Kitsuko running towards Rei and hugging her. Hello Aunt Rei, how have you been? Patting her back. I have been good, Kitsuko-chan, I'm glad to be here. Now we can spend more time with each other. Giggling, Kitsuko let go and ran towards her father and climbed on his back. Hello Inko, thank you for letting me stay with you guys. Rei said to Inko. That's what friends are for, Rei, we help each other. Inko said, sitting on the couch. Yeah, how do you like your new home, Rei? Naruto asked. It is perfect. Rei responded. But did you know that Izuku is in the same class as your son, Rei? Naruto asked. I heard that he made it in UA and in the hero class, but I didn't know they were in the same class. Rei said, walking towards the couch. Well, you're coming over for dinner anyways, we can talk more then, get settled in, and if you need anything just ask. Inko said. I will, and thank you again for everything. Outside. I'm happy Rei is out of the hospital. Inko said, watching their daughter run around. Yeah, hopefully Endeavor won't do anything. If he does he will regret it. Naruto said, grabbing Inko's hand. Yeah, only time will tell. Inko said. Then suddenly she stopped. Turning to her husband, she poked his chest with every word she spoke. You seem to get chummy with Rei, you want to say something about that? I mean, she is very nice woman, known her for a while, it's like Mitsuki, we are best friends. Haha. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. I see. Was all Inko said before walking towards their daughter and going inside. Sighing in relief, Naruto shrugged and went inside as well, waiting for the food to be done. Dinner time? Kitsuko, can you go get your brother and Momo please, dinner is ready. Inko said. Yes, Mom. Kitsuko said, running up the stairs towards her brother room. Hearing walking, Inko looked and saw everyone coming downstairs. Hey Izuku, can you get Rei from her home, she coming to have dinner with us today. We are having your favorite today, Katsuden. Inko said. Alright Mom, I can. Izuku said, going towards the door. Secretly happy that they are having his favorite. Walking over, Izuku knocked on the door. Seeing the white-haired beauty, opened the door and smiled. Miss Rei, it is time for dinner and I was told to come get you. We are having Katsuden today. Izuku said to Rei. Oh, thank you for getting me, let me get my shoes real quick. Rei said. Dinner table. Eating the food, Rei said, this is good Inko, thanks for the food. I'm glad that you like it. Inko said. I have a question, Rei. Momo said. Yes. Are you perhaps related to Shoto Toridoki? Momo asked. Rei looked down at her plate of food. There was a pause. Momo, Naruto started off before Rei cut him off with a raised hand. It's fine, yes, Shoto Toridoki is my son. I had a mental breakdown because of his father. Enji, or who most people know him as Endeavor, he wanted to surpass Naruto and All Might, but after he saw that he couldn't reach them. Hence why he married me, because our quirks were compatible with each other. We had many children together because of his quest on making the perfect child that had both of our quirks. After we had Shoto, Enji totally isolated him from his sibling, training him hard to pass All Might. After Naruto retired, he totally focused on All Might and making sure Shoto would surpass him. Pushing him too hard that I was going crazy on the things he did. Knowing I couldn't do anything, I did something I regret. Rei responded. Oh, I'm terribly sorry for asking such a question. Momo said. It's fine, some things need to be let out sometimes. Since you two are dating, I hope you guys the best. Remember that you need to be fully open with each other if you want a lasting relationship. I'm sure you can ask Inko and Naruto since they have been married for a very long time. Rei said. The four could see that Momo was blushing at the thought of marrying Izuku. And Izuku was a little red while rubbing the back of his head. The dinner continued on. End of dinner. After dinner was over, Rei left back to her home. Izuku walked Momo back home. After Izuku came back home and was getting towards his home, he could see his father standing at the front of the door. Hey Dad, you waiting on someone? Izuku asked. Yeah, I was waiting on you. Let's have a talk. Naruto said. Unsure what was gonna happen, Izuku just followed his father towards the backyard. Walking further in their backyard. Until Naruto stopped in front of the tree that he first trained Izuku in. Watching his father with trained eyes, Izuku waited for his dad to do something. In a second Izuku could see a kunai coming towards him, jumping to the side Izuku grabbed a kunai from pocket from his side. I trained you well, didn't I, Izuku? Naruto said. Yes you did. Izuku. Seeing his dad walk past him towards the kunai lodged into the ground. Do you ever think I pushed you too hard, Izuku? Naruto asked. Well, you did push me, but I wanted to become stronger and save people. And you helped me get there. Why are you asking me this? Izuku responded. Well, I known Rei for a long time. I know her story, I know what happened with her and her husband. When Endeavor was training their son, he pushed him to breaking limits. I just wanted to know if I pushed you to the point where you didn't want to train anymore or have a disliking to me for what I have done to you. Naruto said, playing with the kunai. Look dad, you pushed me, but I knew what I wanted. I knew that if I wanted to be a hero, I needed to be pushed past my limits. For that I'm grateful for what you have done. You knew when to stop me from training. You and mom took care of me and Kitsuko very well. You raised me right and I wouldn't want any other parent in the world. Izuku said. Izuku, hearing laughter from his dad, made Izuku put at ease and put away the kunai. My son, you are so much like my father, it is something else. You are so much more mature than I was at your age. Naruto said. Yes, I see how you act and I asked mom how you were when you were my age. And she said that you didn't change much. You get serious when you want, but other than that you are a goofball. Izuku said. Walking towards his son, Naruto stood in front of him and holding out a kunai. Grabbing it, Izuku saw the difference between the one he usually uses. What is this? Izuku asked. Well, that is a kunai, Naruto said with a giant grin on his face. Just deadpan staring at his dad, Izuku didn't say anything but stared, no emotion or anything. Haha, alright, this is a special kunai. You see those marking on the kunai handle? Naruto said. Yeah, I do, it is Fuinjutsu, right, you taught me a decent amount. Izuku said. Yeah, this kunai was the weapon that my dad used when he fought. I'll be teaching you a technique with this kunai. So I would like you to throw the kunai at that tree. Naruto said. Nodding his head, Izuku threw the kunai in the tree and it stuck in the tree. Okay, what now? Izuku asked. But as he said that, he saw his father disappear and reappear at the kunai. Naruto plucked the kunai from the tree and threw it near Izuku and teleported to the kunai. This is my most important technique because it reminds me of my father. The Rasengan and the Flying Raijin were my father moves that he used to be feared and respected by nations. Naruto said, watching his son intently. What do you mean by nations? I'm sure would have heard of such a man, dad. Izuku said, now curious who his grandfather was. Ah, my son, there is a lot I didn't tell you. Only your mother knows because I love her with all my being. Since you're of age that I know you can understand what I'm about to tell you, it's time to tell you about my past and where our powers came from. Naruto spoke in serious manner. Realizing how serious this is, Izuku listened in on the story. After telling his story to Izuku, Naruto waited for a response or something from his son to confirm that he understood what he was told. I see this is a lot of information to take in. So will you tell Kitsuko? Izuku asked. Ah, my darling daughter that is like me, yes, I will tell her when she come of age. Well son, I hope you keep this information to yourself for the time being. Only tell those you trust with your life. Or tell Momo because I know you guys tell each other everything. I hope you marry her, kid. She brings out the best of you that even you don't know it sometimes. Naruto said, laughing. Punching his dad in the arm and slightly telling him to shut up. But thinking of Momo warms up his heart. The best person in his world that he willing to do whatever to make her happy. Well son, we can start working on the jutsu tomorrow since it's late. Also you got school tomorrow. So good luck, let's go back now. Naruto said, walking back. Nodding his head, Izuku walked alongside his dad making small talk until they got into their house and went their separate ways. Naruto getting to his room could see Inko reading a book. How was your talk with Izuku? Inko asked. It was good, I told him about my past. And if I pushed him too hard. Naruto said, falling face first into their bed. Oh, you did fine, honey, we raised our son well. Yeah, you wanna make a bet? Inko said, rubbing Naruto's head. Oh, what is the bet? Naruto said, sitting up to face Inko. Telling him the bet, Naruto shot up and agreed. Alright, go take a shower so we can sleep. Inko said. Nodding, Naruto left to shower. After coming back, Naruto realized that he didn't see Kurama anywhere all day. Hey dear, where is Kurama? Naruto asked, curious where his best friend was. Oh, he sleeps with Kitsuko in her bed. She has been attached to him. Inko said. But good Kurama can't escape a little girl even if he tried, Muhaha. Naruto was thinking of the stuff Kitsuko does with Kurama. The end. Chapter 5. School time. Momo and Izuku were sitting next to each other in class. Izuku-kun, what do you think we are gonna do in class today? Momo asked. I don't know, but I hope it's something interesting. I have training with dad later today. I'm learning something new and I'm excited. Izuku exclaimed with his fist razor up and fire in his eyes. Laughing at her boyfriend antics, even though he is calm and collect, he can act like a kid when he is learning something new. Turning forward, Izuku saw Mina's face in front of his. Seeing a big smile on her face made him question what she wanted. Do you need something, Ashido-san? Izuku asked, moving back from the smiling pink-skinned girl. Ho ho ho, you and Momo seem close. Mina said. Sighing, Izuku responded, it's because we known each other since we were children. Though anything else you wanna say? Mina said. Not necessarily. Izuku said. Before she could say anything else, Aizawa came through the door. Alright class, take your seats. Alright class, we will be doing something. Aizawa said. He paused for a moment to see the class reaction. Having a knowing feeling that they were thinking something more than it was. It is chosen class president. Aizawa, he was grinning on the inside seeing the looks on their face. I don't care how it is done, just chose a president by the time I wake up from my nap. With that said, Aizawa went to sleep. We should have a voting system. Iida said. Great idea, Iida, we can have everyone vote for someone and we will see who got the most votes. Uraraka said. Alright, everyone vote. Toru said. After putting their votes in, they could see a clear vote. With Izuku being the class president. Aizawa started to wake up from all the commotion. Did you guys finally chose a president? Aizawa said, standing to see the names and scores written. Alright, Midoriya will be class president with Momo being the vice president. Please introduce yourselves to your class. Standing next to each other, Izuku started off. I am Izuku Yu Midoriya, I'll do my best to help everyone. Izuku said. I am Momo Yaoi Rozu, I will also do my best to help everyone. Momo said. The class started to clap. Alright, it is lunchtime, everyone get going. Aizawa went on his way to the teacher lounge. Lunchtime. You could see majority of class 1 is sitting together. So can you guys tell me something about yourselves? Izuku asked. Oh, my family owns a construction company and I want to be a hero so I can help them when I'm not on duty. Uraraka said. But a very nice thing to do, I hope you will do well. Momo said. My family has generation of heroes coming from it. And my big brother is the hero Ingenium and I want to be a hero just like him. Iida said, using his hands in a chopping motion. Your brother is a very respectable hero, I hope you can be a better hero than he is. Izuku said. My favorite hero is Red Riot because he is manly. Kirishima said, grinning. He is also a good hero. Izuku said. Then everyone looked at Shoto. Looking back at everyone, he slurped his soba, then once he was done he just said I like soba. Then went back to slurping his food. Everyone was sweat dropped by the plain answer. What about you guys? Uraraka said. I like to train with my dad and hang out with Momo when I can. Izuku said. I like to hang out with Izuku and I like to read more about the things I can create with my quirk. Momo said. Then everyone looked at Bakugo expecting him to say something. I ain't a part of this shit, you fucks. Bakugo yelled at them. He is Bakugo, he wants to be the strongest hero out there. So he is aiming for #1 spot. Izuku said, sipping on some tea. Izuku, you bastard, I don't want some loser know what I want. Bakugo said, slamming his fist into the table. Ignore him please. Izuku said, still sipping on his tea. Suddenly alarms starting to go off. Students every starting to rush towards the exit. Everyone was pushing Izuku and Momo were being pushed up against each other. Izuku, look, it's only reporters getting in the school. Momo said. Looking towards the reporters, Izuku got annoyed just by the persistence of the people. Momo dear, can you make a megaphone? Izuku asked. Yeah, I can, I need a little room so I can make it. Momo said. Nodding his head, he grabbed Momo, after that he jumped up towards the wall. And started to carry her bridal style. Blushing from being carried, she remembered that she need to make the megaphone. Making the megaphone just in time because they landed in front of the crowd of students. Taking the megaphone from her and telling her to cover her ears. Hey, there is nothing to worry about, it is only reporters. Izuku said through the megaphone. Halting only some students that went to look out the window to see the reporters. The other half that didn't pay attention and kept on going towards Izuku and Momo. Sighing, Izuku let loose some of his bloodlust. He didn't like using it, but his dad taught him how to use it for some odd reasons. This halted the remaining students, they looked at the source of the scary aura. Seeing the red-eyed Izuku staring at them with disinterest. Look, it's only reporters, look at the situation before you act. If you're going to become heroes then you need that trait. If you're going to keep acting like that you are unfit to become a hero. Izuku said. People didn't respond, they just went to do the evacuation more calmly than before. Class time. Want a class waiting on their teacher before they went off home. Aizawa-sensei walked into the room. We are going on a trip tomorrow, prepare yourself. As Aizawa said before he left. Most of the class was excited about the trip. All wondering what the trip is going to be. What do you think the trip is going to be about, Izu? Momo said, holding Izuku's hand. I don't know, but I hope it is something interesting. Izuku said. You want anything to be interesting? Momo said. You know me so well. But don't worry, Momo, you are the most interesting thing to me. Izuku said. Giving his hand a quick squeeze and a kiss on the cheek, they went on towards a cafe. Uzumaki Midoriya residence. Naruto was walking towards Rei home. Knocking on the door. Opening the door, Rei was surprised to see Naruto at the door. Do you need something, Naruto? Rei asked. I was wondering if you want to come with me to get Kitsuko from school. Naruto said, rubbing the back of his head. Yes, I will. Rei said, then she left to go put on her shoes. Walking together, the awkward silence was killing Naruto. So Naruto said slowly. Rei said. Do you need anything for your home? Naruto asked in a panic. No, I'm good for now, I'll ask when I do need something. Rei said, smiling at him. Naruto went on thinking what his wife said to him before he went to get Kitsuko. Flashback. Naruto, dear, can you come here real quick? Inko called for Naruto. Yeah, coming. Naruto called out. Reaching her, Naruto saw that she started to bring stuff out to make food with. What did you need, honey? Naruto asked. I won't be able to come with you to pick up Kitsuko today, I'm going to start making food. Inko said. Alrighty, I can go pick her up myself then. Naruto said. And you can take Rei with you. I think she might be bored, she really doesn't have much to do. Inko said, looking at him to find a reaction. Okay. Naruto said. Oh, before you leave, what do you think of Rei? Inko said. She a very nice woman if that's what you're asking. Naruto said, slowly backing away from his wife. How you do know she has a attraction to you, right? Inko. What she does? Nah, I don't believe it. Naruto said before running away. Shaking her head at the denseness of her husband. She smiled, remembering the things she had to do to prove to him that she liked him. Flashback end. Shaking his head at the thought, giving a side look at Rei. He could see her features, the white hair, the smooth perfect white skin. She saw him staring at her, she turned and smiled. Turning away from being caught staring. They both continued their walk towards Kitsuko's school. Making it to the school grounds, they could see Kitsuko playing with some friends. Kitsuko, you ready to go? Naruto called out to his daughter. Seeing her dad, she said her goodbyes to her friends and ran towards her dad. Jumping up towards her dad to be caught and spinned around. Laughing, Kitsuko loved to be spun by her dad. You have a good day at school? Naruto asked. Yes, I did, but it's so boring. Kitsuko whined. Yeah, you're right, school is boring, haha, I don't have to go to school anymore, but you do, haha. Naruto teased his daughter. Outing, she saw that Rei was with her dad. Hi Miss Rei, how are you? Kitsuko said, looking at the white-haired woman. I'm doing good, Kitsuko-chan, your father asked me if I wanted to come along to get you. Rei said. Hearing a buzz. Naruto checked his phone to see a MSG from Inko, saying that she needs some things from the grocery. Well, Inko needs something from the store, so we have to go to the store. Naruto said to the two. Kitsuko started to cheer in happiness since she could probably get something there. Alright, let's go. Naruto said, and they went off. The trio walking towards the store only to find a commotion happening with a crowd forming. Naruto knew something was up, so they started to walk past the crowd to a different direction. Walking past the group of people. Naruto and Rei could see Endeavor fighting a villain. Rei stood there in her own shock. Seeing her former lover. The things he did, the memories started to rush back to her. Shaking her softly, Naruto wanted to leave before Endeavor saw them, and something happens that is not needed. With Endeavor finishing the villain and having the standby police take care of the rest. Looking towards the people that stayed and watched. Then some news people and paparazzi started to take photos. Getting slightly annoyed with the flashes, Endeavor turned his head to the side and saw a familiar hair color. Walking closer to see if it is who he think it is. Getting closer, he could see that it was his former wife that was with a blonde man and a blonde child. Getting angry that the person he didn't want out of the hospital is out. Marching towards the trio. With Naruto, Kitsuko, and Rei. Rei, are you okay? Naruto asked. Looking over towards Endeavor to see if he saw them. Looking back. Rei, we have to go now before he comes. Naruto said, but with no avail. Seeing that Endeavor started to walk towards them. Naruto continued to try to shake Rei out of her shock. Hearing footsteps stop a few feet away from them. They looked up to see Endeavor looking at them with distaste. What are you doing out of the hospital, Rei? Endeavor demanded. Letting out a breath, Naruto stood up and told Kitsuko to stand by Rei. Walking up to Endeavor face to face. NG, I need you to leave. There is no reason for you to be bothering Rei anymore. Naruto said. This doesn't involve you, Naruto. Endeavor said. It does because she is under my care now. I have gotten her out of her prison you set her in. Naruto said. You don't have the right to do that. From what she has done she shouldn't be out. Endeavor argued back. I pulled in a favor so she is under my care, and if you try something we will have a problem on our hands. You and I both know that. Naruto said. Endeavor stared directly into Naruto's eyes, seeing that he won't back down. Endeavor started to flare up his quirk, bringing the heat up. Naruto instantly flared up his chakra, bringing it to match Endeavor. The paparazzi started to take photos. You trying to start something? We both know what's going to happen if we fight. Naruto said. Endeavor just stared but said nothing. With Momo and Izuku walking hand in hand, the duo went on their way to a cafe. Hey Izuku, what would you like to do in the future beside being a hero? Momo asked. Izuku put on his thinking face. I don't really know, I haven't thought much into that. Izuku said. Oh really? I thought you would have something in mind since you usually have a plan of some sorts going through that head of yours. Momo said with a glance towards Izuku's face to see if he has a reaction. Well, it is true that I have thought of some things, but those things will have to be for the future. Maybe if you stick around long enough my dear you'll find out. Izuku said with a smile. Momo smiled as well. As she was about to say anything they could feel the air around them heat up and a burst of energy competing with each other. Izuku smiled faded away fast as he knew who that burst of energy was coming from. Momo, we need to go to that source of energy now. Izuku said with a swift movement. Izuku picked up Momo and dashed off to make it to the source. With Naruto and Endeavor. Come on Endeavor, leave, you don't want to do this. Naruto said. Just seeing his ex and now his former friend but Endeavor in a bad mood. And Naruto having the nerve to block him from moving closer but pushed him. In an instant Endeavor threw a punch towards Naruto. Naruto blocked it and kicked him away. Endeavor rubbed his stomach from the pain that came from the kick. Alright, your loss Enji. Naruto said. Around them heroes started to block the civilians from getting closer. The former number hero vs the number second hero. And then the fight began. Naruto just mostly dodging all the fire punches and kicks from Endeavor and retaliating when he could. With Izuku and Momo. Izuku got close enough to see a crowd forming and hero blocking the civilians. Izuku looked around and saw his sister and Rei next to each other. Running towards them, Izuku put Momo down and went down towards Kitsuko level. Kitsuko, what happened? Izuku asked. Jumping towards her brother and hugging him. Daddy and a mean fire guy started a fight. Sighing, Izuku went towards Momo and handed Kitsuko to her. Walking towards Rei, who was on the ground. Rei, are you okay? Izuku asked. It's my fault. Rei said softly. What was that? I didn't hear that. Izuku said. I said it is my fault that your father is fighting. He tried to stop Enji from coming closer to me and Enji threw a punch and a fight broke out. Rei said. Alright, don't worry Rei, it is going to be okay. Izuku said and patted her back before turning to Momo. Can you take care of Kitsuko and Rei for a sec? Izuku said. Yeah I can, but what are you going to be doing? Momo asked. I'm going to put a stop to this ridiculous fight. Izuku said before walked off towards the fight. Izuku was in a mood. Pushing past everyone he walked towards the fight. He could hear heroes yelling at him to stop and come back. He didn't listen and continue forward. He could see the two throwing punches. It seems that from the marks on Endeavor that his father landed good hits while looking towards his dad didn't see any on him besides some burn marks on his clothes. Taking a scroll from his back pouch. He unrolled the scroll and unsealed a gunbai with a chain attached to the bottom of the hilt. Putting the scroll back in his pocket, Izuku threw the gunbai forward. Naruto and Endeavor charged at each other with fist ready to hit each other. As the fists were about to connect, an object of some sorts were in between the two fists. Both looking towards the direction from where the object came from, they could see Izuku with his Sharingan blazing and a blank face on. Both removing their fist from the object and let it drop towards the ground. The weight of the gunbai made cracks around it. Izuku, seeing that the fight is at a halt, pulled the chain and the gunbai came back. Holding his gunbai in his hand, waiting to see if they were about to start something again. While walking closer to them. Kid, you better get lost, you don't want to get hurt now do you? Endeavor shouted. You're a hero, act like one, you fight villains, so go do that. Was all Izuku said. Walking towards his dad. Oh hey son, how are yo, was all Naruto got to say before Izuku slammed the gunbai on his head. And you, if you're gonna fight someone weaker than you, end the fight so you don't cause a scene. Izuku said. Rubbing his head, Naruto looked at his son. Yeah, he could have ended the fight sooner but didn't want to cause a lot of damage towards the area. Let's go. Izuku said before walking away. Naruto followed his son. Where are you going? This isn't over yet. Endeavor shouted towards them. Izuku, irritated already, just continued walking only to be stopped when a ball of fire landed in front of him. Having enough of the hero, Izuku swiped his gunbai towards the flames, making it go away. After that he threw his gunbai in a quick fluided motion towards Endeavor, hitting him in the stomach. "You lost the fight the moment you started it," Izuku said to Endeavor before walking back to his family. Kneeling down holding his stomach, Endeavor glared at the backs of Izuku and Naruto. Izuku and Naruto were stopped by a group of heroes. "You want to start something as well?" Izuku said, staring at them. The group of heroes looked at the kid and felt unnerved and just moved out of their way. "Hey Izuku," Naruto started off to be interrupted by Izuku. "I don't want to hear it, you can talk to mom about it, I'm sure she would love to hear what you have to say about to dad," Izuku said. "Cheeky brat," Naruto said, smiling. "Alright you guys, let's go back home," Izuku said to the group. Uzumaki Midoriya residence, Ray home too. "Honey, I'm home," Naruto called out. "I've been waiting for a while, what took you so long?" Inko said, walking towards to the group only to see that her husband had some burn marks on his clothes. "What did you do?" Inko said. Nothing," Naruto said. "He got into a fight with Endeavor," Izuku said. "Izuku, my son, you shouldn't betray me like that," Naruto whined. "You ruined my date with Momo today," Izuku said. "It was my fault, Inko, I went into a little shock of seeing Enji and he tried to come closer to me, but Naruto stopped him," Ray said, bowing down towards Inko. "It's fine as long nothing too bad happened," Inko said. "Yeah, we had to go talk to the police about what happened. Some people took videos so they backed us up on what happened, so we got away free," Naruto said. "Alright, we can talk about this later, do you have the stuff for the food?" Inko asked. Naruto held up a bag and handed it towards Inko. "Go shower and change clothes, and Ray, can you help Kitsuko with any homework she might have?" Inko said. "Yeah, I can," Ray said. "Alright, Momo and I are going to my room, call us when food is done," Izuku said. With it everyone went their own ways. School day. Izuku and Momo were walking in school where Izuku could hear students talking while looking at Izuku. "They saw what happened with my dad and Endeavor," Izuku said, annoyed that the stuff went on the news. "Well, at least people know how strong you are, right?" Momo tried to cheer up her boyfriend. "Maybe," Izuku said. Walking into class 1, Izuku was glad it was empty beside of some of the students already in it. Izuku and Momo walked towards their desk. Izuku laid his head on the desk, wanting the growing headache to go away. As the class filled up, Momo shook her head towards the people that approached Izuku's desk, all probably saw what happened in the news. Knowing that Izuku doesn't want to be bothered at the moment, she did her best to let him have some time without people bothering him. He gets in this mood is only when his family and herself can bother him. Aizawa-sensei came in. "Alright class, are you guys ready for your trip?" he said to the class. "Go put your costumes on and meet me by the bus outside in the front and we will be on our way," Aizawa said before leaving towards the bus. Bus ride. Izuku was leaning against Momo's shoulder with his eyes closed. "Mo, this is killing me. Hey Momo, do you know that blondie that was fighting Endeavor?" Mina asked. "I do," Momo said shortly. "Well, who is it then?" Uraraka asked. "It was my dad," Izuku said to everyone, who slowly got up from Momo's shoulder and opened his eyes with his Sharingan activated. "Oh, he was your dad, you guys don't look that much alike," Mina said. "I mostly got my looks and hair color from my mother," Izuku said. "And you got people looking at you now after what you did to Endeavor," Kaminari said. "Yeah, you were strong enough to force Endeavor to kneel down. I wish I could be flashy like some heroes, like Toridoki and Bakugo have flashy quirks that will gain attention of the people," Kirishima said. "You got a fine quirk, Kirishima-san, you don't need a flashy quirk to take down villains," Izuku said. "Thank you, Kirishima." "Thank Izuku. Everyone can become a great hero if you put in the work and do what is good for the society. Don't be selfish about what you do. Many people don't have the luxury of having a good quirk to become a hero. So do things to help the society and not just take down villains. Being a hero is more than that. What you do with this is up to you," Izuku said before falling back down towards Momo at this time. Everyone was inspired by this and wanted to work hard to become great heroes. "Settle down everyone, we are here," Aizawa said to the class. Everyone walked out of the bus. Izuku was pulled aside by Todoroki, who shook his hand. "It was funny what you did to my father," was all he said before walking off. Izuku looked at the retreating form of Shoto before walking towards where Momo was. "Welcome to the USJ Space Hero 13 said. The end. Chapter 6. Alright students, we are going to be showing you rescue simulations. Because you don't know what's going to happen at any moment. Or where you are going to be at the moment," 13 said. The class was excited to see the area. "I call it the unforeseen simulation joint," 13 exclaimed. The whole class thought so. Basically it is the USJ. Alright class, we are Racerhead started before the lights went out. Feeling an eerie feeling, everyone turned towards a black swirl forming near the fountain. Seeing a man covered in hands coming out of the swirl. Then slowly more and more people coming out. This is not part of the trip. These are villains. Eraserhead said while preparing himself for a fight. Izuku looked at the man covered in hands. Not even waiting, Izuku dashed towards the door. Creating a Rasengan in hand. Izuku was close to reaching the door to blast his way through to make a way out for his class and teachers. Only to be stopped by the black swirl that had people come out from. I would prefer if you didn't do that, Uzumaki-san. Kurogiri said. How do you know who I am? Izuku asked. That is a secret. Kurogiri said before launching the black mist towards Izuku, covering him. Dropping Izuku in between all the villains. Looky here, we have a student we can kill. One random villain said. But the class. After Eraserhead said they were villains, he looked back at his class, seeing if everyone was still there. And he didn't find Izuku. Looking behind the class, he could Izuku be running towards the door with a blue sphere in his hand. Then the black mist came and stopped him. Covering him and making him disappear. Looking back at the villains to see if they advanced forwards. Just to see Izuku getting dropped in the middle. Is that Izuku? When did he get there? Mina shouted. 13 Protect the students, I'm going to G, Eraserhead said before stopping. Only to see a villain get blasted towards the bottom of the stairs with a few villains off to the side that got hit. Seeing that Izuku was on the end with his arm stretched out. But Izuku. Seeing a villain coming at him, Izuku blocked his attack with his arm and formed a Rasengan and blasted the villain away, hitting a few. Alright, I got this, I don't think I can make it back, they are starting to block my path again. Izuku thought. Making clones to help out somewhat. Izuku and his clones went to fight. Izuku was dodging hits and hitting back. Weaving through hand signs. Wind style. Great wind blast. Wind came from his palms and knocking the villains into trees. But the class. You guys see that Izuku is taking on the villains by himself. We have to go help him out. Kirishima said. No, my main concern are your guys' safety. 13 Keep them safe, I'm going to get Midoriya. Aizawa said, jumping down the stairs to help his student. Alright class, we got to figure out a way to get past the mist guy right there and get one of you out to call for help. 13 said. Iida is the fastest amongst us beside Izuku, so we need him to get out so he can get to the teachers. Momo said. The class is nodding their heads. Iida waited for some of his classmates to be the distraction so he can open the doors and run and get help. Follow my lead, losers. Bakugo said to the class. Charging forward towards the mist. Bakugo started to make explosions to block the view of Iida running towards the door. Come here, you shit mist, let's go. Bakugo yelled. Kurogiri looking away from the blinding explosions. What an annoying kid. He thought. Kirishima ran up and jumped towards the helm. Moving out of the way, Kurogiri looked at the next mess of students coming at him. Mina threw so acid his way and he let it bypass through his mist. Fumikage let his dark shadow go towards the mist, swiping at it. It had no effect on Kurogiri. He kept looking for all the students, seeing that most of them were there but one. Hearing footsteps, Kurogiri looked behind him where the sound was coming from and saw the Iida running towards the door. Foolish, you think you can open that before I get to you? Kurogiri said and rushed towards the running student. Oh no you don't. 13 said and activated his quirk and started to suck in Kurogiri. Kurogiri had some of his mist go behind 13 and the black hole quirk came out from the other end of Kurogiri mist and started to suck in 13, destroying his back. You aren't a combat type of hero, 13, you have a dangerous quirk. Kurogiri said. 13 stopped his quirk and fell towards the ground. 13 sensei. The class yelled at the hero. Kurogiri went back towards Iida, who was almost at the door. Iida looked behind to see the mist guy coming back towards him. He tried to run faster to get to the door. Feeling the dooming presence behind him. He closed his eyes knowing that he wasn't fast enough to get help. Then when his doom didn't come, he looked behind and saw Izuku standing there in front of the villain. Thinking, how did he come back? Did their teacher go and get him and came back? Keep running, Iida, I'll give you enough time to escape and call for help. Izuku yelled. With a heavy determined face, Iida ran as fast as he could and got to the door and started to pry it open. You think you can stop me? Kurogiri said, still charging. Izuku smirked, waving through some signs. Izuku said, Futon. Tatsumaki Wana, wind release. Tornado trap. Wind started to form around Kurogiri and form a tornado around him, not letting him escape. Alright, this should hold him until Iida escapes. Izuku spoke to himself. Kurogiri was slamming against the wind tornado, trying his hardest to escape. Looking back, he see Iida open the doors and started to run through. Izuku slowly walked back to his class, keeping his jutsu up until he got to them. Knowing by the time he released it, Iida would be too far for him to catch. making it towards the class that was huddled around their sensei who on the ground still. Releasing his jutsu, Izuku looked towards that turned around looking furious, well as furious a helm can be. "Izuku, how did you get here?" the class asked. "I'm a clone, I was sent here by the original to help with you guys out," Izuku said. "Alright Kitsuki, we have to take this guy down, he is their way in and way out I'm pretty sure," Izuku said. Slamming his fist in his hand, Bakugo grinned. "Let's go shitty hair," Bakugo said, and they charged him. Kurogiri annoyed that someone managed to escape him, he lost his students. He flew over them and uncovered the class, taking some of them away and sending them off to the villains they had previously placed for them. Izuku, seeing this happen, grabbed Momo, who was standing closest to him. "Everyone grab onto each other so we don't get separated even more," Izuku yelled. "You're a problem, Midoriya," Kurogiri said, and sucked away Momo and the clone Izuku. "With Izuku and Aizawa." "Midoriya," Aizawa said. Looking towards his sensei that stopped next to him, his back turned towards him, looking at any villains ready to come attack. Bringing his back towards his sensei so they can get each other back. "What is the plan, sensei?" Izuku asked, his Sharingan ablaze, looking at the foes before him. "We need to regroup with the rest of the class," Aizawa said. "I don't think we can do that, sensei, see that big guy with a brain sticking out, I have a big problem about that one. He seems he can take on everyone. So I don't know why they aren't letting him loose. Unless they are waiting for All Might to show up," Izuku said. Aizawa was thinking on what to do. "I think we should take out as many as possible before trying to take out that big guy right there. I rather not have them slaughter our class if we bring the big guy towards them," Izuku said, kicking a villain away from him. "Alright, we can hold out until we can form a better plan," Aizawa said, throwing a villain into a group of them. "Sensei, throw my clone towards the class so he can help them out," Izuku said, making a clone. Nodding his head, Aizawa wrapped his cloth around the clone and spun around and threw him towards the class. "Let's do this, sensei," Izuku said before they charged towards the villains. "With Tamura. That brat is more of a problem than that scientist said he was going to be." The sensei was handling his own. Tamura rushed towards the Eraserhead, counting down second before he knew his quirk would fade away. Eraserhead, kicking a few villains away, turned to see that one of the leaders started to coming towards him. Seeing him get closer, Eraserhead threw his elbow towards his face, only for it to be grabbed by the villain. Eraserhead's eyes started to strain and he closed his eyes and felt pain in his elbow. This guy turned his clothes into dust and started to rot his skin. Izuku, seeing his sensei getting attacked by the villain and his elbow started to rot away. Izuku was at Tamura's side in an instant and kicked him away. Quickly grabbing his sensei and jumping away. "Are you okay, sensei?" Izuku asked. "Yes, I am fine," Aizawa said. "So his quirk is something of turning things to dust by touching them with all of his fingers," Izuku said. "Does it have to be all 5 fingers or just touching them?" Aizawa asked. "It has to be 5 fingers, I was watching him, his palm hit you, nothing happened until all his fingers were on you," Izuku said, looking at the villain slowly coming towards the duo. Rolling up his sleeve, Izuku and put his hand on his and poof, he has his gunbai out. "Alright, this is going to be a tough battle, I don't know where Momo landed either, she was with me when we got separated," Izuku said. "Yeah, we have to hold out until reinforcement to come," Eraserhead told Izuku while holding his arm. "I think we should back off while we can, sensei, and regroup with the others," Izuku said. "Maybe I'm still weary of the big bird looking guy right there, he hasn't done anything, I don't know his quirk or anything, I don't want to put the students in more danger than they already are. I have bad feeling that the bird on is the strongest just judging by his build," Eraserhead said. They looked back at the villains who are now charging at them. Izuku looked at them, picking up the gunbai and brought his arm back with gunbai in hand and said, "Wind style. Takamitachi no jutsu." Slashing in front of him, Izuku had a tornado blowing away the villains away besides Tamura and the Nomi. "Now we have only the main leaders to deal with now," Izuku said. "Nomu attack the kitty is troublesome," Tamura said, pointing towards Izuku. The nibbler Nomu was in front of Izuku with his fist cocked back. Izuku, surprised by the speed of the villain, brought his gunbai to block the punch just in time, holding the back of the weapon with his other arm for more support. The force of the punch pushed Izuku back a good few meter back. "That punch was strong, my arms are tingling from the shock," Izuku thought. Izuku didn't have much time to think as the Nomu was back on him and started his barrage of attacks. Blocking it with his gunbai, Izuku felt his arms going numb. With one final punch, Nomu punched the war fan. Izuku dropped his fan and got grabbed by his neck by the Nomu and got thrown towards a nearby tree. Eraserhead caught Izuku and both hitting the tree. "Did you erase his quirk?" Izuku asked, coughing. "Yeah, it is either he is natural strong or he has more than one quirk," Eraserhead said. "His punches are strong, I could barely hold out," Izuku said. Nomu then was in front of the duo again, hitting Eraserhead away and punching Izuku into the tree. Coughing up blood, Izuku dodged the next attack. God, this is bad. Izuku thought, running away. Forming a Rasengan in his hand, Izuku turned around to see the Nomu right behind. Dodging the punch that was thrown, Izuku thrusted the Rasengan into the Nomu's stomach. Pushing the Rasengan into the Nomu's stomach more, hoping to push him away. But all that has happened was the skin was getting grinded away. Dispersing the Rasengan, Izuku kicked off the Nomu, ready for the next barrage of attacks. Seeing the Nomu was standing there, with some of his stomach torn away from the attack. Then in an instant the wound has been completely healed up. Haha, Nomu has more than one quirk, regeneration and shock absorption. Tamura said, laughing. Well, this is not good, let's see if this will work. Izuku thought. Water style. Raging waves. Shooting a wave at water at the Nomu, covering it in water and the ground. Putting his hand into the water and sending lightning through it. Hoping that electrocuting it would put it out of commission. Screaming out, the Nomu started to move towards Izuku. Bringing up his hand and creating a clone. Go find the gunbai. Izuku said to the clone, and the clone nodded and ran off. Izuku clone. Running away, the clone was going back to where he remembered it was dropped. Seeing in front of him Momo was running with it in hand. Izuku. Momo shouted. Speeding faster towards Momo. The clone stopped in front of her. Momo, you're safe, I'm glad I didn't know what happened to you after my clone popped that was next to you. Izuku said, hugging her. Blushing slightly. Let's regroup with the others. Momo said. I'm just a clone, I have to come and find the gunbai and bring it back to the original. Clone said. I'll come with, so just in case you disappear I can still make it to Izuku. Momo said. Izuku had a look of unsure. I don't want you to get hurt, Momo, there is a monster that really strong. The clone said. I'm not leaving you, I can't lose you. Momo said with a tone that she will keep fighting him on this topic. Fine, but as soon as we get it to the original you have to leave. The clone said. Nodding her head, they soon left to find the original. But the original Izuku. Common Izuku think. What can I do, sensei is out for the count and this guy is just coming at me. Izuku thought. Running away from the villain to get some more time to think. Izuku reached into his pouch and pulled out a smoke bomb. Throwing it down. Smoke started to fill the area and hiding Izuku. I didn't want to release my limiters, but I have no choice. Izuku thought. Opening his vest and putting his hand over the seal and releasing the seal. Izuku felt lighter. I think I can hold out now until people come to help. Izuku thought. Izuku felt a surge of wind coming through him. He could see the Nomu with his arms stretched out. Let do this, you freak. Izuku shouted. The Nomu just charged at him. Izuku started to dodge his attack. Izuku kicked off the Nomu's face. He took out a kunai of his side pouch. Wind style. Wind slash, Izuku shouted. Slashing arcs of wind towards the Nomu. The Nomu brought his arms up and blocked the attacks. Izuku looked at the arms of Nomu, deep cuts were on his arm. But they were soon gone by the regeneration quirk. Nomu, hurry up and beat that brat and take this hero out. Tamura shouted. Izuku prepared for another assault, but harder and faster. The Nomu charged at Izuku. Izuku catch. Momo shouted. Throwing the gunbai. Looking quickly to where he heard Momo shout. Quickly dashing towards the flying gunbai and catching it. Izuku swinged his war fan as hard as he can towards the Nomu that was nearby and hit him in his head. The Nomu slammed down into the ground. Izuku backed off, going next to Momo. You're safe, Momo, please get out of here. That bird guy is very strong. I don't want you to get hurt. Izuku said, standing protectively in front of her. I know, but I don't want to lose you either. Momo protested. I am the only one that can possibly hold high, was all Izuku got to say before he got grabbed by the head and slammed towards the ground. Nomu was standing over Izuku with his hand over his head. Nomu, kill the girl. Tamura shouted. Nomu smacked Momo away from himself. Izuku stared wide-eyed, seeing Momo getting hit. Momo. Izuku shouted before getting his head lifted and slammed into the ground. Screaming out in pain. The Nomu let go and started his journey towards the down Momo. Momo slowly got up, making a shield to defend from the attacks from the monster coming her way. Izuku was pounding his fist into the ground. Screaming at himself internally that he needs to get up and protect his loved one. Flashback. Standing there was Izuku and his father Naruto. Alright son, we can stop training for today. Mama is about to be done with cooking soon, we can get freshened up and eat. Naruto said, walking closer to his son. Nodding his head, Izuku walked next to his dad but had a look on his face. Naruto saw the look on his son's face and patted his back. His son loved to face him so he can get stronger. How's my daughter doing, Izuku? Naruto asked. We aren't married yet, dad. Izuku said, blushing at the thought of marrying Momo. Yes, yet is the key word there, my son. Naruto said, laughing loudly. She is fine dad, we are doing great. She is everything I could hope for in a person. Izuku said, stretching out his muscles. Stopping, Naruto looked at his son who continued to walk. Izuku noticed this and looked back at his dad. Is something wrong, dad? Izuku asked. Come here, Izuku. Naruto said. Walking towards his dad, Izuku stopped in front of him. Naruto put his hand on his son's shoulder. Izuku, I know that you've been friends with Momo a long time. I know that you guys both care for each other and are dating. But let me tell you this. You have to protect her at all cost. Naruto seriously said to Izuku. I will, dad. I will protect her with all my might. Izuku said. I seriously mean it, Izuku, if you care as much as I think you do. You need to risk everything, even your own life, for her. Naruto said, and then they started their journey back to their home. Leaving Izuku to think more about what his father has said. Flashback end. The Nomu was upon Momo. He punched and crushed the shield that she made. She made more shields to block more incoming hits. Nomu hitting each shield and breaking them. But before another shield could be made, Nomu grabbed Momo and slammed her into the ground. The Nomu was pulling back a punch to end her life. As he swung, his fist was stopped by a figure. Momo looked up to see that Izuku was above her, covering her from the Nomu. Izuku? Momo said with shock in her voice. Don't worry, Momo, I will protect you no matter what, even if I have to give up my life to do it. Izuku said with a smile, with his eyes glowing at her. Izuku then turned around with an incomplete Susanoo covering his body and Momo's. Izuku then pulled back his arm and punched the Nomu in the stomach. Izuku was going to start his attacks on the Nomu until he started to cough up blood. He went down to a knee, the Susanoo slowly fading away. Seeing this, Momo went to his side, immediately grabbing Izuku to start their escape. But then the Nomu recovered and threw a punch at Momo. Izuku pushed her out of the way and took the attack. Izuku was in a crater. Nomu then looked towards Momo to finally take her out. Until it heard a loud crashing sound. Everyone looked towards the sound to see All Might there walking towards the edge of the steps without a smile on his face. All Might could see that Izuku was in a crater with blood all over him. Eraserhead is up and fighting other villains. You're finally here, All Might. Tamura shouted. Prepare to be defeated, villain. All Might said. Tamura, we need to leave now. We can handle All Might with our Nomu, but seeing him here means that the other teachers are not far behind. We can't fight them all. Kurogiri said. Fine, but first, do you have the device that sensei gave us that sends people to different dimensions with your quirk? Tamura asked. Yeah, what would you like to do with it? Kurogiri asked. Send those two brats that the Nomu were fighting away and send the Nomu with them so he can kill them without more interference. We can find him later. But those two will become a problem in the future. Tamura said. It will be done. Kurogiri sped towards Izuku and Momo. I won't let you touch my students anymore. All Might shouted and sped towards the mist to stop him. Nomu, stop All Might. Tamura said. Nomu ran and punched All Might. All Might blocked the punch with his hands. Kurogiri covered the duo and sent them off. Nomu, come back. Tamura said. Nomu headbutted All Might and punched the wound on All Might's side. All Might started to cough up blood and fell to a knee. Nomu then punched All Might away into the bottom of the stairs. Moving back to go back to its master. Tamura was about to say something but was shot at. Standing at the top was all the teachers at UA. Snipe was shooting at Tamura and shooting at other villains that need to be taken out. We need to leave now, we can just save the Nomu for next time. Kurogiri said. Scratching his neck intently. Let's go. Tamura said. Kurogiri started to teleport them back to the safe house. It is a shame, All Might, I couldn't kill you today, but at least you lost 2 students today. Was all Tamura said before they disappeared. All Might slammed his fist into the ground. Then stood up and started to defeat all the villains that were still standing. But Izuku and Momo. Izuku and Momo were falling from the sky. Izuku and Momo could see that they were getting closer and closer to the ground. Izuku grabbed Momo and hugged her tight. Summoning his Susanoo to break their fall. They finally hit the ground in an explosion. Momo looked to see that Izuku was unconscious, with her being safe from harm. The end. What if Naruto x Inko Midoriya My Hero Academia end here, and thanks for watching my video till the end.